My name is James Rowlands. In 2015, I teamed up with my friend Dan White to create the WNR podcast. Since then, we have been giving you everything that's happened on the WWE Network. Now, in 2018, not only are we live for the Big Four events and every NXT takeover, but we celebrate 20 years since the birth of the Attitude Era. Plus, every month we'll bring you 205 Live, collections, new content, W pay-per-views and latest news on the WWE Network. Until we've watched everything, we are with you, and we are the WNR. Yes, hello, I am James Rowlands, and as always I'm joined by
Dan White.
And today it's WNR 196, it's WWE vs WCW, and it's WCW Starrcade 1998. But before we do anything, let's start with the alternate intro. Bob the Builder, can we fix it, Builder?
No fucking point at me, this is your shit.
Yes, we can. Scoop, Muck and Dizzy, and Rolly too, Lofty and Wendy, join the crew, Pilchard and Bird, Travis and Spud, playing together like good friends should. Bob the Builder, can we fix it? Bob the Builder, yes we can. The Builder, can we fix it? Bob the Builder, yes we can. It's Bob and Builders, and they're Bob the Builder, and the gang have so much fun working together. They cut me off any time. They get the job.
Shut up.
Okay. Now for the intro.
In 1998, WWE and WCW were locked in a ratings war. Their shows, Raw and Nitro, went head-to-head on Monday. The WNR podcast go back 20 years, right in the middle of the battle. We followed the war since the inception of Nitro, but now with Raw and the WWF's Attitude leading the way, WCW needed to fight back. The WNR podcast follows the war blow for blow and month to month. This is WWE versus WCW, the Monday Night Wars, December 1998.
And we have a 5-point system. We have
match,
promo,
roster,
setting,
and rating.
How can I forget? So we are back to end the year of 1998 in WWF and WCW. And let's start with World Championship Wrestling and their biggest show of the year, Starrcade.
The attendance was 16,066.
And the buy rate was 1.15 or 460,000 buys. But was that good?
Well, last year, Starrcade got 700,000.
Wow, so it's a bit of a drop since last year. Of course, last year was Sting versus Hollywood Hogan for the title. But it's December 27th, 1998 in Washington, D.C., MCI Center. And what match have we got to look forward to tonight?
We have got the WCW Cruiserweight title match, Billy Kidman versus Rey Mysterio Jr. and Juventud Guerrera.
And the winner of that will face Eddie Guerrero for the Cruiserweight title.
Norman Smiley versus Prince Iaukea.
We've got Perry Saturn versus Ernest the Cat Miller.
We've got Brian Adams and Scott Norton versus Fit Finlay and Jerry Flynn.
The WWE World Television title match, Conan versus Chris Jericho. Come on, Jericho!
We've got Eric Bischoff versus Ric Flair. Woo!
DDP versus the Giant. Will the Giant feel the bang here tonight?
And of course, the WCW World Heavyweight title match, Kevin Nash versus Bill Goldberg.
Well, Tony Schiavone dubbed it the granddaddy of them all when he opened WWE Starrcade. In a city where the fate of the world is decided on a daily basis, the fate of WCW, the NWO, and the world title that has been in existence since 1905 will be decided at the MCI Centre. Welcome to the granddaddy of them all. Arcade 1998 is on the air.
Schiavone was joined by Bobby the Brain Heenan and the Professor Mike Tenay. The card had some serious star power as Goldberg was putting his streak and his world championship on the line against Kevin Nash. Ric Flair was facing Eric Bischoff with the presidency of WCW or something on the line. And DDP was taking on the Giant because the Giant cost DDP the US Championship.
The Cruiserweight Championship would be defended when Billy Kidman took on More on that later. Norman Smiley and Prince IK had a match because of reasons. There was a tag team match that had zero impact on the tag team division. Perry Saturn faced the Cat, Ernest Miller, because once again, reasons.
And Conan, yes, the very same leader of LAX on Impact Wrestling, faced Jericho, the lead singer of Fozzy. I think he wrestled for someone else too. For the television title. By my count, 10 either Hall of Famers or soon-to-be Hall of Famers and Conan were on the card.
Yeah, so here we go. We're going to get started.
So this is WCW's WrestleMania.
It is, basically. It's a bigger show of the year. It's been going longer than WrestleMania as well. Predates WrestleMania by 2 years. And we're starting off with a WCW advert for QVC on December 30th, which I suppose is all right. You know, the commentators are hyped up. What match you look forward to the most here tonight?
Billy Kidman versus Rey Mysterio Jr.
Yeah, it should be a cracking match. And I'm looking forward to all of them, to be fair. I think the Giant versus DDP will be good. Of course, Goldberg versus Nash. But we see Mean Gene at the moment. Just been inducted into the WNR Hall of Fame.
Granddaddy of them all. Mean Gene.
He's saying strange things going on. None of the Horsemen are here, apart from Ric Flair. Well, what would a WWE pay-per-view be without Mean Gene plugging the hotline? Do you know what I mean? I'm not... I'll miss it now on normal WWE pay-per-views. It's a shame. 0900 99 100 calls cost $1.95.
Is that who's backstage?
You find out, yeah, because he's
probably Disco Inferno or fucking Alex Wright and his big dong.
Have you ever rang one of those numbers?
No.
I have. It's like, hi, welcome to World Championship Wrestling. Press 1 for the latest backstage news. It just takes ages to read out a question. That's why they take so much money off you. But we're going to start with the Cruiserweight title on the line. And here comes partly LWO. I mean, the LWO I've not been impressed with the LWO, to be fair, on WCW. I know they're trying to give Eddie Guerrero something to do, but it's just not even a proper NWO. And if Eddie Guerrero doesn't like Bischoff, then why is he doing the LWO? Is it to dig at him? And it doesn't seem like Bischoff has been affected because Bischoff is facing Flair. He doesn't care about Eddie Guerrero. But will Juventud Guerrero get the job done in this matchup? He is the choice of Eddie.
And Rey Mysterio coming out, no music. He's got music now. He's wearing a hooded jacket and he's carrying the LWO t-shirt and he just stomps on it as it's on the ground.
Well, Mysterio has turned his back on the LWO and him and Guerrero. He's been a constant thorn in Guerrero's side, I would say, these past, maybe even a couple of years. These two men have had, especially at Halloween Havoc 97. And it seems on Nitro recently, Eddie Guerrero and Mysterio have just been having great match after great match, which is not a problem, but maybe you need to freshen it up a little bit sometimes, you know?
Yeah, indeed. The future of a maskless Rey Mysterio to come.
Yeah, we've got all that coming up. You know, we've got the kind of the Cruiserweight division losing its luster a little bit, you know, and losing some of its core members. I mean, Billy Kidman sticks around, but, you know, it's kind of not the same really after we lose Eddie Guerrero, and of course we're going to lose Chris Jericho. WWE is going to get a lot shitter in the next year, basically. Like the amount of talent they lose. But Kidman stays, and he is the Cruiserweight champion. And I've been gosh darn impressed with Billy Kidman in 1998, excuse my language. But what have you thought of the Kidster in 98?
Yeah, since getting the fuck out of the flock, he has kind of come into his own. And yeah, definitely, this is a very, very exciting Cruiserweight division that WCW have got. That is one thing they have got going for them.
And the thing is, as well, the great thing, if they're going to do pay-per-views like this, you know, to start off the action with a high-octane match like this, you know, this should be a great match. You should get the crowd into it as well. And that's what the Cruiserweight division, that's what I say, differentiate from, of course, what WWE does.
Who is it? UV versus... What is it? Triple Threat?
Triple Threat match, yeah.
Ah.
No, and Kidman and Mysterio are friends, though. And they're going to gang up on Guerrero. And try and make him pay for it, of course. LWO. Kidman and Mysterio both nip up. Both leapfrog, miss him out. Oh, my God.
Oh, lovely tilt-a-well backbreaker from Mysterio to the juice.
Well, Mysterio goes running into a big boot from Hoovy. Oh.
Kidman follows it up with a drop kick. How long will Rey and Kidman work together?
At the moment, it's working, and Kidman Irish whips Mysterio into the Bronco Buster. But like you say, these are two guys that know they can't be teaming up all throughout the match. You're going to have to go at some point.
I'm sure they'll come unstuck when Juventud is going to get pinned.
Well, Mysterio gets caught by Kidman. Oh, here we go. Mysterio accidentally forearming Kidman.
Oh, and Kidman fights back. Now these two guys are going to go at it.
And it gives Guerrero a chance to get his breath back, and he only going. He's cheering it on, them fighting.
Well, and they both turn their attention back to the juice. But that didn't last long. Kidman and Ray are going at it again.
Yeah, Guerrero was taunting him. He paid for that.
And the ageless Charles Robbins watching.
Without a doubt. All three men now just brawling. Kidman's got Mysterio. Just clubbing blows to the back. Now he picks up Juventud in the corner. Kidman pulled off by Mysterio. Kidman's got Mysterio up on his shoulders. Hoovy off the top. But no, Mysterio rolls through in the pin.
Wow, wheelbarrows Rey Mysterio onto Juice. Ray goes for the cover, but Kidman pulls him off.
And Kidman showing his strength there as well. Mysterio pulling Kidman away. Now Irish whip to Guerrero. Kidman leapfrogs again. But Guerrero hits a knee to Mysterio.
Oh, wheelbarrow to double bulldog there from Juventud to Mysterio and Kidman.
Now the heel's on top, but rather than going for a pin, just catches his breath back.
Well, he covers both men. They both push him off before the 3 count.
Now Juventud's got Ray. No Irish whip, but reversed this time. He rolls under the legs. Kidman catches him with... Kidman gets caught with a chop.
And now the juice is being let loose, chopping everything in sight.
And now Mysterio and Kidman picks him up. Maybe a power bomb, but throws him onto Hoovy. Hoovy tried to go into the corner. Mysterio turned it around. Oh, that was brilliant. German suplex. Hoovy landed on his feet. Kidman caught him with a clothesline.
Mysterio catches Kidman with an X Factor. 1, 2. Oh.
And Hoovy heard the noise, but got caught in the cover himself. Now Kidman again pulling Mysterio off. And this is really 3 men wrestling. Now you talk about how to do a triple threat match. Each man seems connected, both all in the middle of the ring as well.
And this all circles round to Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, it seems like he might master control in the Cruiserweight division as Hoovy sends Kidman to the outside.
Oh, shoots Rey Mysterio over the top rope as well. He crossbodies Kidman.
And I don't think Guerrero's going to leave it there.
The UV looks like he's going to go flying.
Oh, uses the rope.
Springboard and just takes out both Ray and Billy.
Well, Kidman's in serious trouble here because he can lose the Cruiserweight without being pinned. I mean, that is a trick in the triple threat matches. But Mysterio's so tough as well, so it's going to be difficult for any of these men to go down. Guerrero was double teamed for a little while, but now seems to be back in control. Now Guerrero going to the top as Mysterio and Kidman getting to their feet.
Oh, and they both catch him with a drop.
Oh my God, Kidman rolls under. Mysterio trying to hit his head. Picks up an electric chair now. He's on his shoulders and Guerrero's going to come back in. Springboard.
Oh, Hurricane Rana from off Kidman's shoulders to Rey Mysterio. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Oh, only a 2 count.
2. Kidman there to stop it. But great from all 3 wrestlers. And now Kidman going for the cover on Guerrero. But he managing to kick out. Now Kidman look at the suplex Guerrero, but he rolls behind. Gets caught with the elbows. Now Kidman's going to try Bulldog. Hits it and he manages to kick Rey Mysterio at the same time.
Turns the juice over, goes for cover. 1, 2. Oh, no. Managed to kick out.
And Tony Schiavone's saying Kidman might be suffering from a torn rotator cuff. If that's the case, he'll be in serious pain. Kidman slams down Hoovy. Going to the top now. We went for the huge splash, but Guerrero put his feet up.
Mysterio looking to capitalise on it. Springboard moonsault.
And Guerrero managing to stop Ray before the count of 3. And now Mysterio with the forearms to Guerrero. Look, try suplexing maybe.
No, just hanging up Guerrero on top rope. Places him on the outside of the ring.
And now Mysterio going all the way to the top. He's got Guerrero. Oh my goodness.
Hurricane Rana's in from the edge of the ring apron down to them wafer thin mats covering the floor.
Well, how thin are those mats?
They're mere millimetres thick over pure concrete.
Both men are serious strong. Mysterio trying to get his way back in, but might be going in harm's way because Kidman is a lot fresher now. Going to try and super does so. And now Mysterio's in a position where Kidman might be able to capitalise.
Leg drop from the second rope from Kidman. Goes for the cover. 1, 2.
Oh.
Juice in to break it up.
And Guerrero's been on point stopping the covers here. With a high action here. I mean, this could be over before you know it, so you've got to make sure you're stopping it. Now Kidman's got Guerrero. He's going to maybe powerbomb. Juventud trying to block it, but Kidman's caught him.
Plants him with a powerbomb. Kidman with a roll-up. 2. Oh, this time Rey Mysterio breaking it up.
I mean, this just proves how incredible Rey Mysterio is as an athlete, as well as how good Juventud and Kidman actually were as well. And Mysterio now has got Kidman. Oh!
That's a very innovative version of a bulldog. Goes for a cover. But Juice is there to break up the count. I did actually like Billy Kidman's theme music. You know that?
Yeah. That was on WCW as well, so they did a couple of things right as Juvi's got Mysterio up now.
Oh. Backbreaker there from Juice.
Grabs the
1,
cover.
2.
Oh, no. You knew Kidman was coming in to stop that.
Well, this match you haven't really had to kick out.
Ah.
It's all been broken up for you.
And very rarely have we had just 2 guys in, but now to say that, it's Mysterio and Kidman. Ooh. Mysterio with a 619 and then dodging Kidman. Kidman goes flying to the outside.
Kidman and Juventud both struggling to get to their feet. Rey Mysterio looks in a prone position to do some damage.
Yeah, but they're nearly halfway up the entranceway. Mysterio. Oh!
Springboard Asai moonsault off the second rope, taken
Top
out
rope.
off the top rope.
That was-
Excuse me.
I can't believe the distance Mysterio managed to get from there. You'll believe a man can fly as Mysterio throws Guerrero in. Oh, there we go. That might be it. Top rope, springboard, Hurricane Runner. But Mysterio's not finished yet. Guerrero somehow managing to reverse the Irish whip. And now, oh, driver.
1, 2. Oh, Kidman in to break it up. These Latinos, though, they're very religious. Both Rey Mysterio and Juventud Guerrero have got crucifixes on their
Right down,
outfits.
yeah. I find Americans still quite religious as well, like, kind of believing in God. But I think with the Mexicans, it's definitely crosses and stuff like that we see, yeah. Oh, that's not general if I'm stereotyping, I apologise, but more unrest than anything else. As Kidman now on the top rope. Oh my word!
Throws Mysterio onto Kidman, who Hurricane Rana's Kidman off the top turnbuckle.
And that was beautiful, like a tag team move there by Mysterio and Guerrero, but I don't think it was meant to be.
Fucking hell, Rey Mysterio, I've only just noticed he's got 1 on his mask, 1 on each shoulder, 1 on each leg.
He's nearly got as many crosses as he has question marks.
And
All he is here as well. Mysterio is still not, he's the smallest guy in this match. Charles Robson probably got a better physique than him at the moment. Oh, Kidman though, getting out of the way of the Juvi driver, hits a BK bomb. 1, 2.
Ray was prone to breaking that pinfall attempt up. Mysterio sending Juventud over the top rope to the outside. Both men are in a prone position.
I don't know if he meant to do that. It's like kind of Hurricane Runner. I don't know if Mysterio just caught Juvi on the way down, but Kidman is up to the top now. Oh!
It's Kidman's turn to go flying. All 3 guys have done a high risk, and it's paid off for all of them.
Yeah, but that was a shooting star press by Kidman. He risked everything there. And now throws Juvi in, but I can hear booing, so I think someone's coming down. And Charles Robinson is telling Eddie Guerrero he's going to have to wait.
Kidman sending Juvi to the outside, but Juvi hanging him up.
Eddie getting a huge reaction. Juvi now trying to roll up Kidman. Drops down. He's got the pin, but Charles Robinson can't see it. And Eddie going to cost Billy Kidman now.
2. No, Ray breaks it up, turns it back to Kidman.
Kidman goes for the cover, gets it. Mysterio drop kicks Kidman into victory. Eddie can't believe it.
Well, Eddie is certainly beside himself at the result of this match.
And Kidman wins. And what a match that was, Dan. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely brilliant. All 3 spectacular athletes.
Yeah, it really was a fantastic open. I mean, the 3 men showcased what they can do in the ring. You put that kind of talent to start a pay-per-view, I think you can only ask for good. We wondered if it would be good, and it was great, Juvi performed really well at this time, so he's motivated. The same with Kidman, Mysterio, and just the kind of chemistry between all 3 as well. They've done this before, and you can tell from it. It worked. Got the crowd into it as well, which is only a great thing. And Kidman walks away. And again, can't be more impressed with Kidman. We know Mysterio is an absolute legend, but Billy Kidman really showing it here. And Eddie Guerrero's not happy. He's got the microphone. And he says Juvi's let him down. Eddie Guerrero is furious, calling Juvi a moron. Eddie Guerrero wants to challenge Billy Kidman if he's back there. Well, he has just seen him, but I mean, Kidman wouldn't be stupid enough to put the Cruiserweight title on the line again, surely.
Don't call me Shirley, but he's making his way back out here. Oh, Billy Kidman certainly is a fighting champion.
Well, Eddie Guerrero's saying, let him go to the back, get changed, and then he'll be ready for this match.
Oh, Kidman's saying, no, right here, right now.
Eddie's saying he's not afraid, he just hasn't had a chance to get ready yet. Which is fair enough, you know. And then Eddie Guerrero just throwing the microphone down in anger. And he's telling Juve and Mysterio to get out of the ring. It's his time. So we're going to see Guerrero versus Kidman now. You got to favour Eddie Guerrero. I mean, we just seen Kidman in an awesome match. Going to go against Eddie, and Eddie get the cheap shot. Eddie going. You got to love that about Guerrero. Both men in jeans, and oh my God, Charles Robinson's changed. And now Kidman getting Irish whipped, and Guerrero bringing it with a big clothesline. The leader of the LWO. Beautiful powerbomb. Guerrero goes for the cover. Oh. Kidman managing to kick out.
Guerrero with a small package this time, but again, Kidman managing to kick out.
Oh, and a beautiful chop there by Eddie. Could have been in serious trouble. Irish whipped.
Eddie just powering Kidman up and dropping him.
And Juvi cheering Eddie on. I don't think he needs any help. This should have been ratcheted out to Mysterio. I can't believe Kidman would take it. It shows he's super tough. But, you know, might be brave, but a little bit dumb. And now Juvi helping Eddie out with the abdominal stretch. Made famous by, of course, Wilbur Schneider.
Indeed, yes. It's a fact I've not heard in a little while.
And Mysterio coming round to stop the hold. Tells Juvi to leave it alone. And they're just playing the hold even more. Juvi helping with two. And Mysterio arguing still at ringside. And Eddie goes out and pushes Mysterio away, but then pushes Juvi.
Oh, is he claiming he can do it himself, but yet he's the one who put his hand out for Juvi to grab.
Yeah, I don't think we can question Eddie Guerrero. I mean, the leader of the LWO, surely he knows what he's doing.
Don't call me Shirley. But yes, Eddie Guerrero is the leader.
Big chops, the cowboy boots as well. He could put down Kidman.
And a lovely pop-up drop kick there from Kidman.
We'll find a little bit of offense, blocking Eddie. No, Kidman with the right hands. And the stomping down. A lot of anger with Billy Kidman getting out of his system. All the hurdles that Eddie Guerrero's putting his way. But Juvi, even though he was shouted at, helped out the leader there for the greater good. Grabbing the leg. And Eddie back in control.
Looking for the lasso from El Paso. Just tying Billy Kidman up.
Oh yeah, Eddie Guerrero's got a submission in. But Kidman's got hold of the arm and got the legs twisted up. There's nothing he can do at the moment. I'm not even sure if he could tap out. And after the war, Kidman's been in to start this off to go against Eddie Guerrero. And we know how dangerous Guerrero is as a competitor.
He is very dangerous. But he's also got his minions at ringside as well.
He's just added to that the confidence. You heard the uppercut there.
Upper what?
And now he's telling the fans exactly what he thinks of them.
Kiss my ass.
It looks like Mysterio's taking Kidman to the outside, maybe protect him a little bit. And here comes Juvi to make sure there's no shenanigans.
Irish whip reversed. And Kidman sends Eddie Guerrero into barricade.
But then Juvi, as blatantly as you like, right in front of the referee, grabs hold of Kidman to let Eddie get the shot and again take over.
I think he was just helping Billy get up, James.
He sends Billy Kidman into the ring post. And we are definitely getting a new Cruiserweight champion. Eddie Guerrero is just playing at the moment with Kidman. Maybe teaching Mysterio a lesson watching on. He said if you want a job done, you've got to do it yourself. Irish whip into the corner, reversed by Kidman. Bulldog. And he hits on Guerrero, now trying to get back into this. And now just punching away in the corner, goes up top. Hits the 10 punch. And now got the sleeper in, but Guerrero turns into a jawbreaker. And now Eddie Guerrero, I don't know, maybe got a problem loosening his boot.
Well, they are not regulation wrestling boots.
Well, to be fair, he did say he would change to regulation wrestling attire, but Kidman said, no, don't do it, I'll fight you now. So, if it comes back to haunt Kidman, he's only got himself to blame. And a nice slap across the face, but that might have spurred Kidman on.
Come on, you Spurs.
Kidman now with a big right hands in the corner, and he seems to be taking it up a level.
Punching away at Guerrero, Irish whip, follows it up with a clothesline into the corner.
And now Guerrero's got the boot hidden from the referee. I don't think the ref notices, distracted with Mysterio. And a beautiful shot there by Guerrero.
I see what he did there.
He wants a timeout because his shoe fell off. He just throws it at Mysterio instead. Goes for the cover. 2. Oh!
Wow, Kidman just managing to kick out.
Oh. I have no idea how he did that. Kidman showing his toughness.
Well, if Eddie Guerrero had gone straight into the cover and fucking about with his boot, it might be having a new Cruiserweight champion right now.
I think it's over now. Brainbuster by Guerrero. Sorry, by Guerrero. And now this is it. Going up for maybe the frog splash. 1 boot and all.
No, Kidman's up to his feet, cuts Eddie Guerrero off.
Now Kidman's up to the top, trying to superplex, but Guerrero holding on for everything he's got.
Kidman still hits it.
And a huge impact then. Both bodies bounce out after they hit the canvas. Can Kidman try and roll into a cover? Does so. 2. No. Eddie Guerrero gets the shoulder up at 2.
2. Guerrero goes down low, drop kick to the knee.
I mean, Kidman must be wrestling now at least 25 minutes.
At least 42 minutes.
And now Eddie Guerrero going to work on the leg. That is just brilliant by Eddie. Cheating right enough, holding the bottom rope, but still referee doesn't notice. And Mysterio using Eddie Guerrero's boot against him. Making sure he breaks that. Does it again, and Hoovy and Mysterio now having an argument.
And Mysterio just bonks Hoovy on the head with that shoe.
Hits Eddie again to stop it.
No, you stop it.
And then Guerrero telling Mysterio, you better be in control. And this is beautiful for Eddie.
Runs up onto the top rope and then just Hurricane Run down.
And Kidman looking to be out of it. Mysterio looking on. Now Eddie going to go powerbomb. Oh!
Billy kept a grip and turned it into like a X Factor face buster.
It came back to affect Eddie. The power he picked Kidman up with, he used it to slam him down. And again, just stomping away. Well, there's no respect between Kidman and Guerrero. Boot to the midsection and slams him down.
Jumps over the top rope, hits a leg drop. 1, 2. Oh, Guerrero managing to kick out.
Oh. And Guerrero now, for what seems like the first time in this match, in a bit of trouble. Kidman backing up to the corner, placement on that top turnbuckle. Now maybe Hurricane Runner.
Eddie holds on.
And that's showing his veteran wile. He knew exactly where he was and what to do to block it. Now he's picking Kidman up.
Placing him onto the top turnbuckle.
No, Eddie, oh no, gets pushed off. And the LWA bodyguard on the apron causing the distraction. Oh, and Hoovy up on the apron, crotching Kidman. And we don't know what the bodyguard's called, but he's causing trouble. Distracting Mysterio as well. Oh.
Mysterio crutches Eddie on the top rope.
I think he took out Hoovy at the same time as well. He dropped off the apron. Kidman left alone on top. Shooting star press. Gets the win. Kidman does the unimaginable and retains against Guerrero. Dan, what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely brilliant. You know, Billy Kidman, even after wrestling a very energetic, thrilling match, still comes back to that, and you've got kind of Rey Mysterio on the outside, even though he's forcibly part of LWO. He was there to even the odds, and yeah, it was absolutely brilliant match.
You talk about making a star. You know, those first 2 matches with Billy Kidman made him look like a star, showing his toughness. Came out when the odds are against him, and he said, no, usually in that way they would get outsmarted, but Kidman comes out on top and it is great to see. I thought a great match. Kimber looks like a star, and all the cruiserweights look cool as well, and the crowd are really into it. Big pop at the end for the victory. Always a bit of promo for Nash. Goldberg here tonight. Who are you favouring tonight, Dan?
It's got to be Goldberg. 174-0.
Tonight, after he beats Nash, it will definitely be that. I think Nash is not taking it seriously enough. We've seen him smirking recently.
No, James, he didn't have a cigarette in his goal. He had a smile on his face because he thinks he's going to be able to get one over on Goldberg, but he's not going to have Bam Bam Bigelow there to kind of take the brunt of it.
No one is going to help him here tonight. It's going to be mano a mano. It's going to be Kevin Nash, the big sexy giant, versus the undefeated Goldberg. Norman Smiley. As Bobby Heenan says, Norman Smiley. Tell us a bit about Norman Smiley, for anybody that doesn't know, Dan. We've seen him a lot, but people might not know he's actually English.
Yes, he is English retired professional wrestler, best known for his time in Mexico's Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, where he held the World Heavyweight title, also known for his time in WCW, and he is currently working for WWE as a trainer for NXT. Championships held by Smiley over the course of his career include the CMLL World Heavyweight Championship and the WCW Hardcore Championship. He's still quite young. Well, he's not exactly that old, but he's 53. Known, of course, by as Black Magic, Lord Norman, Norman Smiley, and Primetime.
He's only 33 in this. He looks a little bit older than that, to be fair, doesn't he? Would you say this guy's 33 looking at him right now?
No, I'd say he's about 53.
Yeah, about 43. Yeah, he does look old, but hey, we go with that.
He was trained by Cole Gotch, Boris, and Dean Malenko. He made his debut in 1985.
Wow, and he's got the look now, maybe ahead of someone like this working now. I think would be great.
Retired only 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think he can still go. He's helping the Performance Centre out. Be great to see him go against Pete Dunne, maybe exhibition match or something like that. Prince Iaukea came across with this gimmick. It's been around a couple of years now in the cruiserweight title scene. We're going to be the artist formerly known as Prince Iaukea. Probably have his most success in WCW in 2000, teaming up with, I think, Kimberly, it was, and winning the cruiserweight championship. But, never made it to WWE after. It's not taking anything away from him. Neither with Norman Smiley. But you got kind of characters, and these two. Why are these two having a match on the biggest show of the year on WCW, Dan?
I don't know, why are they?
No, exactly. I don't know why either. There's no reason for it. Whereas if it was a WrestleMania, every match would at least have a reason or a storyline to it. And I think that's what's lacking out in WWE pay-per-views, When I started off quickly, these two men, both training snap suplex, both love the hard style of wrestling. Both these men don't look like a typical wrestler. Norman Smiley's got the kind of catch-can style, whereas Prince Iaukea does like the high flying. Gets caught with a nice forearm then, and Smiley twisting the arm. Rolls him through the cover, but Iaukea gets up at one. Well, in this match, Prince Iaukea is still wrestling as well, but Smiley's getting the advantage at the moment. Suplex on that top rope. And now, are we going to see it? Norman Smiley in control. Slams down Prince Iaukea. But, Bam Bam Bigelow, is he scheduled to be on this card? Is Scott Hall here? You could have had NWO Wolfpack versus NWO Black and White involved in a tag team match. That would have made sense. Stick anybody else involved that maybe, could have got the job done. Where's the rest of the Horsemen? Have the Horsemen involved, against the NWO Black and White if we've got Bischoff versus Flair later on. There's a lot of people missing out here. And yet we're getting a filler match. And with WWF pay-per-views, it feels like you're getting an event. Maybe the roster isn't as strong, but at least the matches they put for pay-per-view actually mean something. Whereas this one could be on Nitro, no one would care. It's not like the main event level talent. Like Lex Luger or someone like that,
Yeah.
Scott Steiner, the leader of the NWO Black and White now,
Where's Disco? Where's Alex?
Alex Wright involved, yes, exactly. Snapmare takedown by Norman Smiley.
You could bring Alex Wright out for 30 minutes and just have him dancing.
Okay, reversing Norman, but
Smiley catching him. Throwing him back first.
Oh my God, now Smiley just stretching Prince, turn him into a cover, but he's got to get his shoulder up from that.
Now managing to fight back against Smiley. Irish whip and follows it up quite closely with a clothesline.
Boot to the midsection, trying to suplex, but Smiley reversing.
And the power lifting Arcare up, and he's wiggling his way back up to his feet.
Now the big wiggle. The fans love it.
Making his pecs dance as well.
Now Norman's got him at double underhook. Picks him up, and he's playing with Prince Arcare at the moment. This has been all Norman.
Just holding him upside down, slams him.
Goes for the cover. Oh, but Prince has to put his foot on the rope. And the crowd not sure if he actually got there or not.
Arcare looking to lock the cross arm breaker in. Smiley trying to lock the cross arm breaker in.
And Arcare just trying to block it, turn it round. So try and move a bit of pace, and now he's got the palm strikes.
Straight to the jaw, follows up with a slap to the back and a chop to the chest.
Well, it might have annoyed Prince Arcare, might have spurred him on.
Go on, you Spurs.
Oh no, dropped our hold low by Smiley, straight back in control. And like I said, they're the same age, but it looks like Smiley has got so much more experience.
Just his face though, his body, he looks quite young.
And he's going, there we go. The big wiggle.
Who's your daddy?
Oh, get distracted and Northern Lights suplex. Okay with a cover, but no, Smiley out at 2.
Now this has been all Smiley.
It really has. I don't know if they maybe have plans for Norman Smiley, try and build him up or something like that as a kind of shooter or whatever it is, but I know he does, but he puts on a helmet and starts having Ralphus as his security as well, so there's a lot of comedic stuff happening to Norman Smiley. But like I said, he is one of the founding members of the hardcore division.
Very innovative there from Smiley.
Oh, just twisted him up like a pretzel. And now Smiley just pressing down. And this has just got to hurt Prince. I don't know what Akai did to annoy anybody in the back, but just get destroyed. Turning around for cover. The arm's up, now it's down again, but Prince trying to fight this. Pressing him down, but Akai are up.
Double foot stomp to the ribs.
Works every time as he hits it again.
Simple and effective.
Now right hands, but Akai. But the Prince finally get back into this. Big right hands. And I wouldn't do that. That'd be a mistake to take Norman down. He schooled you recently. And to be fair, Akai looks pretty tired at the moment.
Yeah, Smiley wisely rolling to the outside.
I don't have a go at him, but the biggest show of the year, and they're giving us this, eh? Don't get me wrong, it's an alright match, but
That hasn't been terrible, and Norman Smiley is very, very impressive. He's a brilliant worker.
big right hand, right to the ice. I mean, imagine him in a kind of William Regal type character like this in WWE. I think we'll be able to pull it off. Do you know what I mean? The kind of way he wrestles as well. Now maybe get distracted a little bit by the fans. Ikea fighting back with right hands, but his offense seems to have little or no effect for Norman.
Oh, who moves out of the way of the charging in Ikea.
But I think the Prince caught himself from hitting the ring post.
But then you look, you've got Alex Wright, you've got Disco Inferno, you've got Norman Smiley all dancing and jiving around.
All comedy type characters as Ikea went for the springboard cross body. Smiley turned it round. But I think three great apart from Disco Inferno getting away, I think Smiley and Alex Wright are actually quite good workers. Maybe it's tag team together, call them like shooters or something like that, you know? Or the big cocks, because I'm not going to guess about Norman Smiley, but you know what they say as he hangs up Ikea. I think we need this match to end soon because I've drifted a little bit. Chicken win attempt, Ikea blocks it.
You know when this match gets boring because James starts talking about penis.
Yeah. Oh, he's going for it again. Can he get him down for the chicken wing? Made famous caused by Bob Backlund.
Is that the crossface chicken wing?
There you go. Got him there. Crossed them up. And there is no way Ikea can get out of this. He's going to have to tap or pass out. There you go. Taps out. That's it. Norman Smiley wins. Very impressive by Norman Smiley there, Dan. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Norman Smiley, absolute brilliant work, and you can see the British strong style shining through as well.
Yeah, I think Smiley's really cool. Could have been done on Nitro though, this, couldn't it, really? And for the biggest show of the year, it needs to have a better impact. Let's hope it improves next, because we've got the Cat versus Perry Saturn, so what could possibly go wrong there, Dan?
So you mentioned that we haven't seen, we've not got Scott Hall wrestling on the card, so he makes an appearance just for you, James.
An unscheduled appearance, and of course went for the crowd to go, hey, yo. He's out there, he's no secret. That 1998 wasn't his best year. I mean, we've seen him be drunk on Nitro.
We've seen him puke up on Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, he'd been lost in bars, and Nash walking away from him in a match as well.
But he's wearing an Outsiders t-shirt with the NWO Wolfpack on the...
Looks like he's been helping out Kevin Nash recently as well, doesn't it? You know, coming out with Bam Bam and Goldberg last week as well, or 2 weeks ago. And he's saying later on tonight, someone used to look at as his big brother Kevin Nash will fight Goldberg. Also, Nash is saying he got proof something to him. The crowd is saying he's got to prove something to them. He's saying he ain't the smartest guy, but he ain't got to prove anything for Kev. Anything to them. Only one guy who's got to prove to himself.
Well, Scott Hall guaranteeing that 1999 is going to be his year, and he can't wait to kiss 98 goodbye.
No, 1998 hasn't been a good year. And he doesn't have to prove anybody. But he made an interesting point, Kevin Nash, saying that he wants to be on top of the world again. Kevin Nash has not been a world champion in WCW. And he's been in WCW now for, over 2 years. He calls WWF champion for a year in 1995. I mean, Kevin Nash deserves the opportunity. What about Scott Hall down the road? Would he be able to reclaim it in 99? And we're seeing a video now of the attack Bam Bam Bigelow on Scott Hall a couple of weeks ago on Nitro. And Bam Bam, of course, unsigned by WCW then.
Now.
And forever. Well, no, he signed next week. And that caused trouble with Kevin Nash and, of course, Goldberg, which brought to the triple threat match. But at least they're giving us build up to it, I suppose, you know what I mean? They're telling us the story of what happened. I don't really know if we needed Bam Bam's interference into this, do you know what I mean? I think Kevin Nash Goldberg's story would be better. How would you have told it with Kevin Nash and Goldberg?
Yeah, again, I don't think Bam Bam Bigelow's relevance into it all is there's any point to it. I don't know,
So I think the thing with Kevin Nash, right, is that he's a big man anyway. He's 7 foot, so he should be kind of a monster, and I don't think he needs any help to win what happened at World War III with him eliminating most of the people. Just have him like that. He stopped Wrath Streak. Just having him more serious. He goes, I've been joking around, but now I'm being serious, and Goldberg, I'm going to stop the streak. A serious Kevin Nash going up against a Goldberg who has been unstoppable, I think would be a great main event. You don't have the distraction of Bam Bam. You just got the two guys, both want to be champions, see which way it goes. And even if Kevin Nash was to get one over on Goldberg like that, Goldberg would say, well, you did it once, but I can come back. I think there's a way of doing it here, kind of more sport way of it. But they've gone with a Bam Bam way, and of course Scott Hall's interference involved as well. We'll see what happens here tonight. But we're getting on to our fourth match now. Here comes Sonny Ono with Ernest the Cat Miller. And he thinks he's the greatest. I've never been a huge fan of Ernest the Cat Miller. He did, of course, make it to WWE. It was in it with a guy who used to do the entrance theme, and the wig got thrown off as well. But the Cat never impressed me. Dan, what are your thoughts on Ernest the Cat?
No, he could have been a lot better if he was marketed better, but I just don't think he reached the heights that he was properly capable of.
No, I mean, I think he's got quite a cool finish. He dives off the top with a kick. He's been getting in the crowd's face. But, I mean, his gimmick, I think, is that of kind of Muhammad Ali, of he's the greatest. He's just kind of rip-off.
But he's not great.
No, he doesn't really show anything that kind of, yeah. He's getting in old women's faces and stuff. Sonny Ono brings him to the ring.
What about Sonny Ono as a manager?
Well, he sued WCW for racism, and they told him to kind of play up to the stereotypical Japanese bad guy. But I think for what he did, it was alright. Do you know what I mean? There's not really anything wrong with Sonny Ono than what they had over in WWE with Kai En Tai.
Indeed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, does the Cat really need a Japanese guy when he's on the microphone anyway? Well, don't forget what happened on Nitro when Santa Claus suplexed the Cat, and it ended up being Perry Saturn. So there's some bad blood between these two men in the next match. So at least there's a point to this match at the moment. But Saturn's been quite impressive in 1998, hasn't he? And he's kind of floundered a little bit after the flock, but up until that point he was doing well, wasn't he?
Yeah, again, I think, leaving the flock has been the best for a couple of wrestlers. And Saturn and Kidman, I think, included.
Yeah, I think most definitely, you can see they've definitely got upside. You can see why they made it to the move to the WWE as well. Two guys definitely can go in the ring. Saturn's just trying to sort out his character at the moment, isn't he? Just trying to work out who he really is.
But he was kind of billed as a former military ranger. I think they should have kind of pushed that angle a bit better than, dressing him up as what Scott Steiner looks like he'd fucking wear when he went to WWE in his later career,
Well, he's got the Conan the head chief, and then he's got the Scott Steiner kind of metal and the sunglasses as well. So Saturn's coming out, but he's a tough dude, like we say.
Oh, he's a former Army Ranger.
Just don't mention Moppy around him.
Indeed, no.
I'm trying to think of its name.
Well, instead of offering hose, The cat is offering 5 seconds for someone to leave.
So to stop Saturn with a punishment, and Saturn might agree with that.
Well, apparently his hands and feet are weapons, James. And you know a lot about weapons.
Yeah, exactly, much like mine. You know, I am trained. And he's counting now on Saturn. I don't think he's walking away.
Well, as soon as the cat got to 5, Saturn planted him with a big right hand.
And now where's the cat going? Just getting in some kid's face. Or getting up the apron but deciding against it. Got to be careful against someone like Perry Saturn, so dangerous.
He'd go on to become part of the Radicals.
No, cat's had enough. No, Saturn's got his back turned, so the cat's going to try and make most of it.
And as the cat slides into the ring, Saturn turns round and just starts kicking away at the cat who was prone on the floor.
That was quite funny. Saturn catches a big right hand. Backs up in the corner, you can hear the cat screaming.
The cat escaping, falling to the mat, rolling to the outside. Is he going to walk away yet again?
Then he's take his robe off, he means business.
Well, by the age of 17, Saturn was a black belt in judo and karate.
Well, that's impressive, but he hasn't got registered weapons,
Which means Saturn would have had to have started when he was 12, so fair play to that.
Well, Saturn started early, and the cat now bowing down to Saturn.
And the cat was saying, look, ignore the crowd, shake my hand, and Saturn doesn't go for it. Gives Cat the opening, though, a punch to the eye, and then sweeps the legs.
They're just choking him out with the ankle, referee not seeing. Now the cat in control, and he's shouting he's the greatest.
I don't get the 3. Oh, 3-time Karate World Champion.
Yeah, well, Dan, don't forget the cat's 3-time Karate World Champion as well.
Of the world.
Of the world.
He is a cocky fucker, isn't he?
He is. Just shame he hasn't got the talent to back it up. Goes for the cover, but Saturn kicks out.
Saturn taking the arm down of the cat.
And rolling around.
Very innovative pinfall attempt there.
No, but only gets a 2.
2.
And then tries to roll him through again. A lot of wrestling, rolling him up again in the cradle.
Saturn is quite talented on the mat.
And Cat can't get out, doesn't know how to fight this. Needs to get to his feet. And he goes to the outside to break it.
He needs to get to his feet and use his feet.
And now the Cat slowly get back to the apron. He's taking his time. Oh, and trying to use the referee's distraction. His chop hits the super kick. Taunton again. Goes for the cover after what seems like an age. Gets a 2.
2.
If he'd have gone for the cover straight after the super kick, probably got the job done. And now palm strikes Saturn down. Saturn responds with a big right hand. And again, punched off the ropes by the Cat. Now this turned into a bit of a fight on the feet. Saturn get the advantage, Cat with a knee. Goes for the karate kick, caught by Saturn.
Lovely back suplex there.
Irish whip by Saturn, reversed by the Cat. He comes running in, but Saturn gets his boot up. Turns him round. Beautiful T-bone suplex. Goes for the cover. Oh no.
The Cat managing to kick out.
Oh.
Did you know that in 2012 his old theme song was recycled for the entrance of...
Saturn with the net breaker. Can't keep him down. Saturn going up.
He was in The Wrestler as well.
Double axe smash, but the Cat moves in a super kick. Oh, Irish whip, but reverse, and Saturn's got him in a suplex. Cat's working it off with the elbows. Pushing him away. Kick to the face. Now goes, no, instead of going for the cover, he wants Sonny to get in. And why is he holding Sonny up? This could be a disqualification. And Sonny Ono is going to take out Perry Saturn.
Oh, Saturn sidesteps. Sonny kicks the Cat in the chest, who then gets a kick from the Cat.
Uh-oh, Death Valley Driver.
Hits it.
1, 2, 3. Saturn beats the Cat. I don't know what the Cat was thinking, but Saturn gets a victory. Dan, what are your thoughts?
I think the Cat is a very out there character. Saturn, I think it was just a showcase for him, really. Still yet to kind of find his feet as well.
I mean, what is going on with the Cat and Sonny Ono? I mean, the Cat, man. I mean, there might be a little bit of potential there, but that just didn't work to finish. But Saturn looked alright, and the Cat's still angry. But Saturn does get the victory, and that's say, hopefully Saturn can move on to bigger, better things. Where do you think Saturn lies? Do you think he's US title tender? You know what I mean? US title?
Yeah, he's quite a strong mid-carder.
Yeah, I think the TV title might be a little bit of a step down for him. And Mean Gene is introducing Flair. And we've seen Ric Flair in the past couple of weeks of Nitro. He is being hyped for this. I'm sure he'll be excited here tonight. Ric Flair looks so happy in his robe.
Well, we found out that Ric Flair hadn't actually suffered a heart attack. He was poisoned.
But we have found out that the Horsemen are barred from the arena. So do you think the poisoning changed it up? Do you think it's acceptable WWE played a heart attack angle when it was just poison because they didn't know any better, Dan?
It just paints them as being stupid, really, doesn't it?
It does, really. It paints us as all idiots as well for believing this to prove them wrong. And, I don't think that works out there. Well, Flair wants to be piece by piece. He doesn't care the Horseman ain't here. He's going to rip and gouge and every part he can get hold of.
Woo!
Well, he promises he's going to sweat, bleed, and pay the price of wrestling tradition here tonight. And Flair is ready at Starrcade.
So, looking at Ric Flair, would you think he'd be tied for holding the most world champions ever?
I mean, at the moment, he is head and shoulders above anybody else. No one's really come close. It's 13 times. Hogan's had it maybe 6 times.
I mean, a lot of legends hold championships 13 times, James.
Well, that's the crazy thing. But back in the day, no one had it. It wasn't until later on where you saw people like John Cena and Triple H with Randy Orton and Edge getting that amount of title runs. And between the four, really, just exchanging them all the time. Back in the day, Ric Flair was kind of... You had the Harley races on 7, which was really great. And on 8, at this time, The Undertaker held the title twice. Austin had held it once, so you talk about...
So to not legends. Even hold it at all, you wouldn't even class
Roddy Piper didn't win it. We've seen him right now. He never won the World Heavyweight Championship. Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, another guy has been involved. But, this is what is trying to be sorted out here tonight. Bischoff, the egomaniacal Bischoff, controlling everybody, controlling people like Ric Flair, and the Warrior who's left now. Will he actually get his comeuppance here tonight against Ric Flair, even though the Horsemen are banned from ringside?
I mean, David Arquette held the WCW Championship. I mean, David Arquette is a World Heavyweight Champion.
I don't think it's any worse than the finger poke could do. So we get the dreaded NWO black and white music. And are we going to have a Wolfpack versus maybe black and white match? Are the Horsemen going to show up? It's definitely the A-team here. Scott Norton, Brian Adams and Vincent. Brian Adams came over last year to much acclaim after leaving the WF, and he is firmly in the B camp. Scott Norton's been in Japan, helping the NWO out there. And Vincent, I think he's glad to have a job, to be fair. You know what I mean? Like, good old Virgil, not wrestled much anymore, but still takes a few bumps.
He never really wrestled in WWE, did he? Still, what is he wearing an elbow pad for?
Just in case he has to take a bump. So that guy's wearing the NWO top. These are the guys representing you. Because obviously Scott Steiner, I don't know where he is at the moment, the leader. Of course, Hogan's trying to be president. Scott Hall got kicked out. So you just got these legends. But at least what a team they're going up against, huh?
Fit Finlay and Jerry Flynn.
Wow. Well, Fit Finlay, though, it doesn't make sense being a team together. We've seen Finlay be TV champion this year and lose it. And then they kind of lost interest in him. The European wrestlers, of course, lost to Alex Wright. Jerry Former, I guess MMA style wrestler, completely useless. So this should be a great tag team match. Again, biggest show of the year. You're giving us this tag team match. Why? Have Luger and fucking... Who else you got from Wolfpack? Sting's been injured. Well, yeah, Sting's not been around. He's been, apparently injured by
Savage.
Randy Savage has not been out 8 months.
Nah.
We ain't seen him in ages. Just have Bam Bam Bigelow come out and beat the shit out of all these guys. Goldberg! I'm annoyed. I'm just going to destroy the whole roster.
So, looking at all these 5 guys here, which one do you reckon would be employed by the WWE the longest?
Well, exactly. I mean, Finlay, you wouldn't have thought that out of the guys. But then again, Scott Norton, never part of the WWE, really. The way Brian Adams left, I think, he won't be welcomed back with open arms, would he, really? Just walk away. I don't think Flynn's got a single bit of talent in his body. So, yeah, I mean, Finlay, I don't know why. Maybe he was in with the guys, do you know what I mean? Maybe his friends backstage, of course, knew Regal quite well. What a great technical wrestler he was, and, of course, World of Sport. We all know about Finlay. But I wouldn't have thought he'd still be employed by WWE to this day. They talk about WCW wasting money on contracts. Maybe these are a few guys you could have got rid of, and it wouldn't have really mattered, I could have released these guys and just be like, yeah, I'm not missing out.
Well, as we've mentioned on multiple times, he has got a very, very big roster on WCW, and it wouldn't have made much difference, really, would it? Like releasing a few of these.
No, exactly. You would have saved money as well, and you could get a few of the young up-and-coming kind of cruiserweights and different types of wrestler.
Do you know that Virgil was trained by an Anoa'i? Afa.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
That's one of the head shrinkers, isn't it?
Well, Adams has been all over Finlay, and now he tags in Norton, who's doing exactly the same. Scott Norton is a unit, and he doesn't care if he hurts you or not.
He did hold the $1 Million Championship once, though. US Wrestling League Intercontinental Champion. PWI ranked him 74 of the top 500 single wrestlers in 1992.
Nice power slam there by Norton to Finlay. But Finlay managed to kick out. Now tags in Flynn. They're going to try and double team the big man. Just runs through both of them. And clothesline down. We're getting another squash match on a pay-per-view.
We are indeed, yes.
It doesn't make any sense. And a chop by Lightning Jerry. Getting chopped there. Lightning Jerry Flynn's in trouble. Dodges Scott Norton low. And then a kick to the face sends Flynn to the outside. But he tags in Brian Adams. Oh, look, Vincent up in the apron. Clothesline from behind. And Flynn gets sent into the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Adams going for the cover, but Flynn gets shot up at 2. Vincent happy what he done. You do know he's a jobber, right? He's an NWO, black and white. It's meant to be the A-team. What went wrong with the NWO? Well, these three guys are still a part of it.
Pretty much.
And Flynn there catching Adams, kicking him. Now Finlay gets a lukewarm tag in. I tell you, WWE feels like a boxing event. You know, when like the undercard, just waiting for the main event, really.
Yeah. Not really.
Apart from the Cruiserweight title match, I could have missed out for everything else. Do you know what I mean?
Scott Norton is one of 8 foreigners who ever held the IWGP Championship. The others being...
Bob Sapp.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
No.
Ric Flair.
No.
Harley Race.
No.
Chris Jericho.
Big Van Vader.
Big Van Vader.
Salomon Hashmikov. Kirk Angel.
Kurt Angle.
AJ Styles.
I reckon AJ Styles. Kenny Omega.
And Kenny Omega.
Yeah, nailed it. And Finlay now Irish whip into Adams, but Adams catches him. Pile driver. This one's over if he goes for the cover.
And Norton wrestled last year.
He's a big unit.
Yeah, Norton teamed with Cheeseburger and former Team 2000 Saito, Hiroshi Tenzan and Kojima, where they defeated the Bullet Club, Bad Luck Fale, Bone Soldier, Kenny Omega, Tammy Tonga and Tangaloa.
Did you say Norton teamed with Cheeseburger and then ate it afterwards?
He teamed with Cheeseburger and former Team 2000 stablemates. So Scott Norton's still going, fair play to him.
Well, 20 years later, Finlay, of course, was training a lot of the divas in WWE, and he's still training the women in WWE now and what they do. Now Finlay in huge trouble. Norton has been dominating him. Now Norton picking up Finlay. Goes for a cocky cover. Finlay managing to get the shoulder up at 2.
So Scott Norton is actually quite an underrated wrestler.
Well, I wouldn't say he's a great wrestler, but like you say, he's maybe earned a lot more than people would think.
IWGP champion.
But that was during the Japanese NPW still had an agreement of talent. And back in the day, that used to work out by like Muta and people, Great Muta coming across, and Jushin Thunder Liger wrestling for WCW. But then we don't really want any Japanese wrestlers, and he's like, well, we want some of the NWO guys. They go, there you go, have Scott Norton. So he just made him a star. Do you know what I mean? It could have been anybody really.
Could have been Vincent.
Could have been Brian Adams, who just puts his boot up to Finlay. Gorilla press slam, impressive power there.
Oh, gutbuster there.
Right, Finlay, you're on pay-per-view. Bad news, you're going to get beaten up by Adams and Norton for about 10 minutes.
I wouldn't even class these two guys as the B team. They're more like the C/D team.
It's an insult to Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas to call these guys the B team. They are definitely the C team.
Oh, well, as Brian Adams was jumping onto the back of Finlay, he quickly span round, got his knees up to below the belt area for Adams. And now Flynn and Scott Norton have both got tagged in.
And look at Flynn, he's on fire, baby.
Flynn Balor.
He is. Well, got flung to the floor there, did Flynn. But now here Finlay. The team would be Finlay. It would be quite easy. Vincent off the apron. Norton closed down Flynn. That lasts about 2 seconds. Picks him up. Powerbomb. Job's a good one.
1, 2, 3.
Absolutely terrible stuff there. But hey, at least the black and white won, eh? God, Dan, what are your thoughts?
absolutely terrible filler match. They could have chucked in a couple of promotions or promos.
What,
or
putting a
something
match
silly
that
like
actually mattered? It's not like they've got 5 hours of TV to make up a week to come up with maybe a storyline for the biggest show of the year, Dan. Don't be silly.
Indeed. But James, this does actually mark the end of the 3 boring, pointless matches we have to watch.
Yep, all the other matches now mean business because we've got Goldberg versus Kevin Nash for the WWE title. We've got, Dan?
We have got the man, the myth, the legend, Conan, K-Dog, Arriba la Raza, Ordale, going against some jobber named Chris Jericho.
We've also got DDP going against the Giant as well, which should be a great match.
We're here. Well, it's the big show.
And then finally, for control of WCW, it's going to be Ric Flair
Woo!
versus Eric Bischoff.
Boo!
So here we go. We're going to start this night off properly now. Oh, are we? Wait a minute. We're with Mean Gene right now. So Mean Gene is inviting Eric Bischoff out here right now. Why is Bischoff keeping up the pretense that they said he was poisoned? I don't understand. Why is he saying he's worried about his family for when he's put Flair in that position? I just don't get it. He's pretending to be sincere when he's not. He's booking himself as a badass as well. At least McMahon gets his comeuppance. Will Bischoff get his comeuppance tonight? Well, Bischoff says Flair's money is earned. No, hang on. Bischoff saying Flair has to spend his own money for the Learjets, whereas Bischoff can just spend Ted's billions of dollars. But Bischoff must be a little bit scared because he has barred the Horseman from ringside, so that obviously shows that he wants advantage tonight. And who's going to come out and help Bischoff? Well, does Bischoff actually think in his kind of mind that he can beat Ric Flair? That he just disrespects the legend of Flair, and the fact is that he can beat for the world title easily tonight?
Well, I think it is a bit of disillusion there. He is very disillusional.
I think Bischoff thinks he created it all due to the NWO angle and doesn't need to give Flair his due, and I think that's the problem between the two. Need to find some common ground, Of course, it's the stars of the future that help and the stars of the present. You can't go back in the past. That's what's happening to WWE right now. But then again, you can't then just say they mean nothing to us as well. So you've got to find a common. But anyway, moving on and speaking about an absolute legend, and 20 years later, still doing fantastic stuff every week, versus Chris Jericho for the television title. And the interesting thing is we saw what Jericho did, losing the television title to Conan, and then responding by beating down Conan we see there in that video. That was a complete beatdown, making him tap out to the Lion Tamer. That was definitely Conan there, wasn't it?
No, James, it wasn't. But I've noticed something that I've always thought that it was the Big Show that's had probably the wrestling theme for the longest. But Chris Jericho.
This is not. For some reason, they've dubbed Jericho's entrance music with this music. I have no idea. I don't know if it was because it's copyrighted by someone else or something like that, but they've done it. I have no idea. So Chris Jericho has got the television title, which truly belongs to him. I don't care what circumstances he got it. Oh, it's a Jericho holiday. Jericho's welcoming us.
Yes, well, it was a Jericho holiday way before it was ever Rusev Day.
Well, happy Rusev Day, a happy Jericho holiday. And any trouble from Jericho, he's got the JPS there, Ralphus, to help. Well, he's a manly out suit to be sour. He doesn't know what holiday means, but it doesn't matter. Spitting his rhymes there. And Jericho more impressive on the mic than Conan. Jericho's right. Conan's got his pants on show. I don't know why. His boxers. Don't make any sense. No one is happy to see. Is that Stacey Keebler? No one is happy to see Conan. Only a complete arsehole would be happy to see Conan.
Dun, 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 dun. There's a lot of Conan fans, or are they Wolfpack fans?
I think there might be Wolfpack fans. I can't believe Conan is over in the slightest. He's a Road Dogg ripoff.
What?
Yeah, it just comes out. He's meant to be like the talker of the group. Got no talent whatsoever. Conan has got to be the worst wrestler of the past 20 years, barring Mojo Rawley. It's Mojo, Conan, and then Mongo McMichael. Mongo's a better wrestler than both Conan and Mojo Rawley.
Orderly! Arriba la raza! Rowdy, rowdy!
So he says, let me see what I'm like on the microphone, then lets the crowd do half the work. Yeah, and if you're not down with, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation X, hello, world. Yeah, great one, Conan.
Call and response, James. Call and response.
No. Well, Jericho's going to teach Conan a lesson here and walk out as our television champion, because he already is. Conan's a cheat. Conan stole the television title with low blows and the whole Hulk shenanigans. And of course, Conan used the foreign object last match, and the referee didn't even check Conan to begin with.
Beautiful from Conan there. Seated dropkick. Irish whip reversal. Gets caught by Jericho.
And look at Jericho, so confident. Right, and that is someone that's had not a bad 1998, trying to break out. You know, moving up the card slowly but surely.
Don't call me Shirley, but K-Dog recovers too quickly for Jericho. Comes off the top, but Conan easily sidestepping him there. And eliminates Jericho from the Royal Rumble.
Well, Jericho's always had a place on the card, hasn't he? No matter what pay-per-view it is. That feud with Dean Malenko that they had with Malenko basically walking away and coming back with vengeance. And even now, part of the Wolfpack are quite over on WCW. I give them credit, so Jericho had a feud with them. And of course the Goldberg stuff early on in the year as well. Even though it never turned into a match, Jericho, I think, still held his own. Throws Conan into the barricade, now he's got the stairs.
See, and unlike Buddy Murphy, Conan can sell.
Oh, fuck off. I don't know what you've been smoking, probably the same shit as Conan, but leave it out.
Leave it out, you slut.
And now Jericho's got Conan, sends him into the ring post. Conan's in all sorts of trouble. Come on, Jericho. The adulation from the Jerichoholics.
Come on, K-Dog, you can fight back now, son.
And Jericho's going to put K-Dog away. Big suplex. Goes for the cover. Ready? Hooah! 1, 2, 3. Gets the job
and Jericho
done.
being too cocky. K-Dog managing to kick out.
No. I thought Jericho had it done then. I thought the show... You sure the hand didn't go down for 3?
Positive.
I saw that happen there.
The bell didn't ring. The match is still continuing.
No, he's got the submission in and got the sleeper. And Conan is out.
No, he's not, James.
He's going out.
Stop being a moron, James. Stop being an idiot.
Conan might be going.
Stop being a dick.
Can't help it. Take after you. Hey. And Jericho now has got... Conan just tapped out. His hand hit the mat. His hand hit the mat there. Referee again cheating, and Dan pretending he didn't see it, even though I did.
What the fuck have you been smoking?
Knee to the midsection. I have been smoking Jericho cigarettes.
You've been drinking a lot of Jericho Hole.
I have been. It's Christmas time. I've been drinking a lot of Jericho Hole. I am a Jerichoholic. You know what Conan calls his fans? The clowns. Conan Clown. More like a fucking oath. Jericho bringing the best match of Conan's career right here tonight at Starrcade.
Conan bringing Jericho career.
Yeah. What? What, everybody? What? You heard that there.
Well, I think James is being far too harsh on K-Dog.
I think Conan is just awful. There is nothing redeeming from him. I don't like him. Jericho, though, just having his way. Slamming Conan down. Going to finish him off by going off the top. Here comes Jericho.
Oh, and Conan managing to get his foot up just in time. One never exists. One becomes a heavyweight champion. Mojo and Conan.
Conan with the Irish whip to Jericho. Over the top, but Conan catches him.
Rolls through. Lovely pinfall. Oh!
Jericho managing to kick out.
Come on, James.
Adam Cole or Mike
No,
Kanellis?
answer mine
no,
first.
Answer that, Mike Kanellis. You answer that one.
No.
Yeah, see, I knew you would.
I asked you first.
Adam Cole, Mike Kanellis.
Answer mine. I'll answer yours.
Jericho there hits the line salt. Oh. Jericho can't get the job done.
Come on, James. Answer mine and I'll answer yours. One never exists. One becomes heavyweight champion. Mojo, Conan.
All right. Conan becomes world heavyweight champion. He wins it off David Arquette, and then the world title is put off the line. All right, Adam Cole or Mike Kanellis.
Well, one never exists. One becomes. Yeah. Adam Cole gets it through vacant means, loses it to William.
Well, look at Jericho, just absolutely dominating.
So K-Dog managed to kick out of the lion salt.
Yeah,
Fuck me, that is strength.
Well, Conan rolls to the outside, and Jericho definitely having his way to Conan this match.
Here comes Jericho for the second.
Oh, intelligence there by Conan. Jericho come flying over the top rope. Conan swats him into the steel stairs that Jericho placed there for his own means and gains.
Conan using the stairs as a weapon. Should have been disqualified.
He didn't touch Jericho. He didn't touch the stairs. He just redirected Chris Jericho.
Well, punches to the face. Jericho throws him and goes for the cover, but Jericho managing to kick out. Well, he's still in it though. The Ayatollah rock and roller gets caught in the midsection. Oh, went for the X Factor, but got caught, and now we're going to see the Lion Tamer. Conan holding on, but only for so long. The move that doesn't work in real life. Conan into the top turnbuckle. And his trousers are basically down to his fucking knees right now, ref. Referee gets caught in the eye by Conan.
Jericho looking to cheat.
Yes.
Catching Conan in the head with a title.
No, he picked up the TV title to return it, and Conan walked into it, slaps the referee, wakes him up, goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3.
Oh! And the strength of Conan managing to kick out after a title shot to the head. I mean, that is extraordinary for a man to be able to do that.
Yeah, to not sell that and to just destroy maybe, I don't know, 400 types of match that ended with belt shots because it doesn't mean shit anymore. Conan back to his feet.
Bang! X Factor.
Well, that's what won the television title on the title belt, though. Right again.
Tequila Sunrise. This is going to be it for Jericho. He's going to have to tap.
Don't do it, Jericho. Don't do it.
He has no other option but to tap out.
Son of a bitch, Jericho. Son of a bitch. He taps out. Conan is television champion.
This match has got an 8 out of 5.
I tell you something. If they treated main event talent right, Jericho would have gone over Conan there. Because Jericho deserved that more than Conan did. What are your thoughts on that match, Dan?
I'll tell you what. Conan didn't do that bad there. Honestly, and you're being biased, but I'm actually not. Conan didn't have a terrible match there.
No, because he didn't do anything. It was Jericho doing the majority of the action. What? Oh, yeah, I really like the bit where Conan moved out of the way and Jericho hit the stairs. Yeah, that was a really great bit, yeah. Exactly, bullshit. Conan's a cunt, and he wins the title, and he never goes to WWE, eh? And now we're backstage at WCW.com, and the Giant is getting angry about some questions. Of course, he's facing DDP later on here tonight. But up next is the match we've been waiting for. The match has been built up nearly as much as the main event. It's for power, it's for control. It's Eric Bischoff versus Ric Flair. Eric Bischoff versus Ric Flair. Dan, I mean, have you been impressed by the build-up for this match?
I think the build-up's probably been a lot better than I'm anticipating the match to be.
Yeah, I don't think the match is going to be much cut, but I think WCW's done quite a good job. They've made kind of 2 main events for this Starrcade, haven't they? And Bischoff Flair definitely won. I think with Ric Flair, you know, it's true story into it. You know, he was taken away from WCW, suspended for not showing up, going to his kid's wrestling show. And Bischoff, you know, didn't like the kind of tradition that Flair brought. And Flair's got a point. Harley Race, you know, Dusty Rhodes, people like that who paved the way for where they are now. You know, you can't forget that, really. And that's why we look back, and that's why there's a Hall of Fame and stuff like this as well. To pay respect, you know, where's Flair should be main eventing is another question, but I think this match is fine. I'm
really not keen on the Titantron. It's like someone's written Ric Flair on a piece of paper and they're just holding it in front of a static background, like spinning it around a bit. That is terrible.
Every entrance has been like that as well, hasn't it? You know? And the fireworks though for Ric Flair, which is quite impressive.
And the confetti falling. But Ric Flair, he ain't waiting around. He's coming running into the ring. Bischoff Scarpers calls for the bell to be rung as Bischoff's on the outside, kind of pondering his life decisions. Well, people were calling Ric Flair past it. In 1990, he went on to hold the world title another 5 or 6 times. And now a very similar scene we saw, been chasing Bischoff, but this time he caught him. Oh, a couple of chops and some punches to the midsection. And I bet you he's laying them in. Bischoff's down. He may be out. And the commentators are enjoying this as well. Do you know one thing I'm hoping to see from this match? A Ric Flair claret mask. Well, he's promised Bischoff will bleed. Will we see Ric Flair? Does Eric Bischoff have any tricks up his sleeves? Well, I don't know. There's no Horseman here at the moment. There's no NWO either. And he said he'll choke him, claw his eyes out. And the confetti's still falling. As now just ripping the mouth of Bischoff.
And Charles Robinson trying to control Ric Flair. What do you think of the setup and the stage? It's not that grand, is it really?
I'm really not impressed, for the grandest daddy of them all. It's not really been as good as previous ones. I mean, Halloween Havoc was a lot better than this.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's this WWE's slight problem of trying to make it, trying to look impressive and that, and there's not even a kind of number with Starrcade, which is something they could have done because, like you said, it predates WrestleMania. But, so and it's like WWE done this year. Talk about the history of Starrcade. Talk about Ric Flair's been a part of most of the Starrcade. You could have said Ric Flair started this off here. Maybe told a little bit better story than that. Or even Bischoff, lo and behold, might have put someone else to take his place in the match. What about that, eh?
Indeed, yes. But then I suppose, you wouldn't have kind of got the man who's over against the evil kind of mastermind of this all, the getting the comeuppance. Well, maybe not.
But, I mean, if you look at WWF with, you got Austin and against McMahon, before WrestleMania, McMahon said he didn't want to be champion when he didn't want to be corporate. Then, of course, they were going to have that match. Looked like they were going to come to blows. And then after that, really, McMahon has put other people in Austin's way. And they don't really come to blows. They're going to be in the Royal Rumble, which is going to be next month now. Do you know what I mean? And that's been like 7 months. Whereas with Flair and Bischoff, it's kind of like...
a quicker payoff?
Well, I'd say quicker payoff. I mean, the story happened like over a year, but since he's come back...
But from being beaten down for a while, Eric Bischoff has come back and recovered quite quickly. I mean...
Well, Bischoff has taken out Ric Flair, former 13-time WCW champion.
With one kick.
And then sent him into barricade. And Bischoff's ego at this moment, he put himself in the storyline. Because originally in NWO, it was going to be Ted DiBiase as the mic guy. But Bischoff decided to do that. We all know what happened to Ted afterwards, just drifted away. And now he's put himself in a match in Starrcade.
Flair trying to get back into the ring. Oh, no. Yes! I've got my wish. Flair has been busted open.
And Bischoff beat him for kicks. He said he's a dangerous man. Doesn't need any help to get him top. And now just mounting Flair. Uh-oh.
And Flair coming back. He's pissed off now. But another kick to the head from Bischoff. And Flair's down.
Well, let me tell you something. If it was McMahon versus Austin, McMahon wouldn't have any advantage just normally. Oh! And Flair goes low.
Did Charles not see him, or did he just say that? Don't do it again, please, mate.
Well, he is mini Ric Flair, so I think the referee likes it. Oh my God, I don't think Bischoff's going to have any more children. Oh, please don't. Exposing a t-shirt.
Fair play to Bischoff for taking him, though. Oh, and now Robinson draws the line. Flair accidentally elbows Charles in the face.
The referee's out, and now Bischoff's in serious trouble. Shattered dreams position, if you were. Oh, chops, and Flair's destroying Bischoff. Dead.
He's definitely shattered Bischoff's dreams there of ever having kids again. Any more kids, or kids in the first place?
Oh, now he's got Bischoff up.
Nice back suplex there from Flair. Pander into the crowd.
Well, Flair is getting the better of Bischoff.
Lovely delayed suplex there.
But credit to Flair, even though he's had personal problems with Bischoff, still protecting him there.
Indeed, yeah.
Even though, it's meant to be a grudge match, and now he's got the leg. The leg of Eric Bischoff.
He's got the figure 4 locked in. It wouldn't matter if Bischoff tapped out.
Well, Charles Robinson is out of it.
Well, as Flair's got the figure 4 locked in, he's trying to get Robinson to recover.
Oh my God, look who's in the ring. It's Kurt Hennig. And we haven't seen him in months.
He's just put some knuckles onto Bischoff.
Brass knucks whilst Bischoff's in a figure 4. And he just decks Flair. Flair's out. Referee didn't see it. Bischoff going for the cover. No, not like this. 1, 2, 3. Bischoff beats Flair. Dan, what are your thoughts?
Them fucking knuckles look really so fake, it's unbelievable. The way this match ended, it is really NWO-esque, isn't it, really?
Well, the crowd are unhappy about it because it's bullshit. You know what I mean? We talk about Austin McMahon. Austin wouldn't lose to McMahon. Bischoff has beaten Ric Flair in the ring at Starrcade. I mean, for the biggest show of the year, to have the payoff, why would you have one of your number one guys or your biggest baby faces lose in this? Shocking, really, like it feeds into Bischoff's ego, Like, I honestly can't believe it, Dan, What did you think of the match?
It wasn't really long enough to. I don't know. It was a really short match. I think it could have been a bit longer. I know they're playing to Bischoff's weaknesses. I suppose it kind of leaves it open still, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you need the payoff at the end of the day, don't you? You need your faces to come through. And we've seen that with NWO, like you say, countless of times over the years. The NWA just always seems to come out on top. And we don't want it when it's a big show. When you paid that amount of money, you want to see someone get the job done. Well, speaking of big shows, it is the biggest show. We're going to see the Giant in action next against DDP. And Bret Hart, the United States champion, has been carrying injury as well, so he can't compete. He's taken out people like Sting. But we go to the Giant. And I've got to say, the Giant was very impressive a couple of weeks ago on Nitro, wasn't he, what he did with DDP?
Oh, yeah, he tore the WCW logo from the side of the arena and just chokeslammed DDP through multiple tables.
I mean, he must have fallen at least 15 feet.
At least 25 foot.
But will the Giant feel a bang here tonight? I think DDP's quite over. Have you been impressed with him this year?
I have been, yes. Again, the original People's Champion, you might argue. Yeah, for someone who got into it in a later life, I think, he's done really well, held his own, and certainly a fan favourite.
What do you think of his WWE treatment when he moved up? Do you think he deserves a little bit better?
Absolutely terrible. I mean, I've been watching some of the Invasion stuff and that, and like the angle he's had with Undertaker, and it was just awful. I mean, choosing Sarah over Kimberly is just ridiculous.
Yeah, of course he was a stalker to Undertaker's wife, but here he's going against the Giant, and the Big Show himself, Paul White, hasn't got a lot of time left in WCW. And spoiler alert, this is his last WCW pay-per-view. He would debut in WWE in early 1999 at St. Valentine's Day Massacre, February 14th, when he came in shocking circumstances. People might know that. We don't want to spoil it, really, because even though we have watched it on the podcast, we'll relive that moment, of course. And he is the first one to kind of make the jump that kind of showed WWF were really in charge now. They had lost talent before, and this was the first one who had kind of been a champion and was on the way up. He's still a young guy, the Giant, even though at this point he's kind of given up a little bit. We've seen him smoking and eating, you know what I mean? You see he's put on weight. But a motivated Giant, I think, could have been a well-beater. What are your thoughts on the Giant this year?
I think, kind of the Giant getting pushed out of the NWO by Kevin Nash. I think, you're going to see that rivalry, aren't you? Is this his last pay-per-view? Oh, we've seen it.
The Giant got dropped on his neck, didn't he, by Kevin Nash, at the start of the year.
I think, they didn't go through with the Giant as well as they should have done. They can't, they missed a beat with the Big Show. And, the way that WWE utilised him, especially in his early career, was absolutely spot on. Yeah,
Bischoff said that, Giant said he was involved with the main event scene, so why wasn't he paid the same? Bischoff said, you're not happy, you could do something about it. And he did, he upped and he left. But here comes DDP, and a guy that pushed Goldberg to the limit at Halloween Havoc. Unfortunately, most people didn't see it. But DDP, after his rivalry with Macho Man Randy Savage in 97, and moving on now in 1998, he's definitely improved.
That Titantron is absolutely fucking awful.
And he goes to the WCW.com booth as well, one end to the other.
And now he's walking through the fans as he makes his way to the ring. I mean, he's absolutely loved throughout the whole arena.
And it's just respect. People respect him. There's not a lot of respect in the business, or it was in 1998. And WCW fans are still loyal, but they're getting annoyed at the product, and this is a problem at the moment. They're watching it, and it's more the same stuff that they've seen. We've been watching it now for 2 years, Dan, and it is the same type of stuff still, isn't it? The NWO is still around. The Wolfpack question's not been answered. But we've still got the main event, Goldberg versus Nash, coming up, which can't disappoint, surely.
Don't call me Shirley, but no, I have high hopes that Goldberg's going to maintain his streak. I mean, at least if WCW have got one thing going for it, it's Goldberg, his streak, and his dominance.
I think without a doubt that's what can save them, and that's what can keep them going in 1999. But here we go, the Giant versus DDP, and I wonder what DDP has to do. He's going to have to use his speed to Gum gets spat at him. Oh my
Oh, and
god.
DDP responds with a phlegm of his own.
Giant went for the right hand. DDP moved. Like I said, he got to use his quickness in this one.
Doesn't the Giant look really weird with long hair?
I love it. I love the Giant like this. It looks like a monster. He really does with long hair.
DDP looking for the diamond cutter early on and eliminates the Giant from the Royal Rumble. Absolutely impressive there.
Well, the front row panicked when they thought the Giant was coming from. But look at the
DDP
strength.
looking to jump over the top. The Giant sweeps his leg out and both men are brawling on the outside.
Oh.
But the strength for the Giant, he just clotheslines DDP down.
And that big angry Giant. I know you like Page because of the Diamond Cutter as well. The originator of the RKO.
I was actually quite a fan of Page. Like the Page that I suppose you'd be more used to was the kind of portrayal that he got in WWE. And
Oh, I've only known Page a little bit. You can see the toughness is a trash can, blocked Giant's fist and then hit him in the head.
is that legal then?
I think anything goes a little bit here. Referee's discretion. Oh.
Do you prefer that or do you prefer it to be strictly to the rules?
I prefer a set of rules in place so you kind of know what's going on because, like they can use trash can here but it might be disqualification in the next match. So consistency I think is best. And there's no harm saying that this could be like, an anything goes match as Page is sent into the ring post.
That kind of, even things up a bit, I suppose, in Page's favour.
Especially after the attack the Giant did on Nitro as well, there's a little bit of payback.
Because, just for argument's sake, we was putting predictions down. Where would you go?
If I didn't know what was going on in store, in the news, the internet is just starting now, I probably would have put the Giant in this one. Just because I think he's more impressive and, you look at Kevin Nash and Goldberg, if you're going to have a next challenger for one or two of them, I think the Giant definitely has not been used properly yet, has he,
No.
Not as a proper baby face, maybe as a kind of heel, but if he was to have a proper face turn, because he left the NWO and then just joined them again, it didn't make any sense,
Yeah. But I don't know, I'd kind of vouch slightly towards the plucky underdog with DDP, but, I think my initial decision would be to go for the Giant. I mean, to have a Giant lose, it'd have to be under really weird, spooky circumstances or something had gone majorly wrong.
Majorly wrong. Well, don't forget the Giant is like 10 years younger than Page as well, so maybe that's, helping him. Don't forget Page looks how old he is. As the Giant now working on the leg of DDP.
So would this Page have worked a bit better in WWF?
I think it was, but I just think they had a problem with him. You look how WCW was treated during the Invasion angle, and they still had problems with the people who stayed with him, Treated 12 years after fucking leaving WCW. WWE took that really personal there. And even Goldberg's treatment, trying to get him to put on Goldust's wig as soon as he kind of debuted, was just like, what are you doing, You could have made money with them, but you didn't. The only one they made money with, really, was Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I mean, DDP didn't do too bad.
No,
not DDP, Booker T.
Booker T, but they completely repackaged him, didn't they? He completely got destroyed, and then they repackaged him again, and he had to work his way up again from Intercontinental to United States till he finally became world champion again. And I think that's credit to Booker T for doing that. And Billy Kidman, it's a surprise he didn't really make it further. When you consider how good he was, teaming up with Mysterio as well, and early going. And the Giant now got Page up in a corner, big chop. And the Giant is vicious in this one, trying to send a message to everybody on the roster. But DDP got up, got hold of the Giant, not for too long though, pushed away. And then a huge clothesline. And now the Giant completely dominating, like many expect. Page trying his best, but every shot, he needs maybe 4 or 5 shots to make an impact, where the Giant just needs one.
Or one headbutt, as the case may be.
And it sends Page limp.
Is the Giant taking too long, no toying with his prey?
Well, I think this has been a problem with the Giant. Because he's that size, he never really takes himself too seriously, because he doesn't need to. He knows how dangerous he can be. If he was to be serious, he could have put the Page away. Instead, playing with him, and usually it comes back to haunt people. When he was younger, he used to be able to hit drop kick and a moonsault, but nobody would ever want to take it. And I don't blame him for not taking a £500 moonsault, to be fair. But DDP could the Giant could perform it. And now he picks up Page in a bear hug. But past year, the Giants had a fast food diet and, he's been smoking. So he's not in the greatest shape. Oh, Page went for the diamond cutter. Giant pushed him into the ropes. Power slam, must have been at least 7 foot in the air. And the Giant goes for the cover.
Why
But
did the referee stop counting?
maybe he's intimidated by the Giant. Page showing his toughness, but he's in a fight here. Oh, the Giant again got Page up in a bear hug. And Page is out of this one.
Well, he's been in a bear hug for
At least 7 minutes, and all the energy sapped from his body.
and DDP's not looking in good shape either.
Oh, DDP fighting back though. With everything he's got, jumps on the Giant.
Is he biting the Giant's nose?
Yeah, trying to get the advantage.
Looking for the backslide. The Giant, oh
Ooh,
no. Grabs hold of DDP by the throat.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Chokeslammed him on his knee.
That was a thunderous backbreaker. Well, the Giant, after exerting himself for 13 seconds, need to get his breath back.
Just see what's going on.
Sort of the Punjabi chokeslam on his knee.
DDP pulling out a DDT out of nowhere. Managed to turn the Giant round. And DDP going for the cover, but Giant pushing him off at 2.
2! Oh, someone's making an appearance. I bet it's Bret Hart. Extra bonus point for me if it is. Yes!
And Bret Hart.
Bonus point for the dad.
No bonus points on the line. Oh, Bret went for Page with a chair, hit the Giant. Page with a low blow to Bret. The US champion's down. The Giant's down. Page going for the cover. 1, 2.
The Giant pushing out of that still.
Oh my word. Well, Bret's down. I don't know what the DDP is thinking.
DDP's going up top. Giant struggling to get to his feet after that thunderous chair shot.
Oh,
Takes down the Giant.
huge clothesline, but the Giant nearly back to his feet before Page's.
Will the Giant feel the bang?
Well, Page now off the top.
Another clothesline.
And now the Giant, but again, back to his feet. Page looking for the diamond cut. The crowd getting into it.
Oh, he's going up top again.
Oh.
He's caught round the throat by the Giant.
Well, the Giant's got him, but oh, Page, low blow. But the Giant's still up. Picking up Page to the top.
Placing him in the corner.
All the way up. Oh my God, top rope.
Cutter!
Oh,
Boom!
diamond cutter off the top. Page goes for the cover.
1, 2, 3.
Wow, Diamond Dallas Page beats the Giant in, I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed that in the end there.
That was a good, exciting end.
Yeah. WWE don't usually do it, but Page fighting back after that. The Giant was dominant. Bret Hart's having interference. And a diamond cutter off the top rope by DDP. He hit it from anywhere. He hit it from there and beat the Giant. I thought it was really good.
Hit it out of nowhere, James.
Yeah.
He can.
Dan, what are your thoughts on all that?
Oh, I actually did enjoy that match. It was quite an exciting match. It's a good way to have the Giant lose, but not get beaten legitimately, so to speak.
I completely agree with you there. And the Giant got back to his feet, and Page's not going to hang around. He wants Bret Hart. That storyline's still going on. But what of the Giant?
Page is getting back in the ring. Is he crazy?
Oh, what a great match. And I quite enjoyed the last couple of matches here on Starrcade, apart from the ending of one, of course. But Bret tried to chain. The Giant took that full force in the face. So here we go. Tony Schiavone saying it's the biggest title match in WWE history. And it's pretty close, isn't it, really, if you think about it? With Kevin Nash and Goldberg, 173-0, going against the man who hasn't won the WWE title yet, but held the WWF title for over a year. Dan, what are your thoughts on the build-up to this match as we get ready for the main event?
I think it has been good. You know, you've kind of had the Royal Rumble winner, you know, the winning the World War III. You know, the Royal Rumble winner winning World War III to get his opportunity. It's WrestleMania of WCW. You know, it is kind of what WWE do. Or did WCW do it first?
Well, it's the thing, isn't it? You know, and there's a big fight feel. The Royal Rumble was always there to set up the WrestleMania match, you know, that happened, but World War III was used for Nash to do that. Is it enough time to build up this match now, you know, to have it here? We shall see, but it kind of makes sense that they'd have the two guys going at it You know, Hogan wanted Goldberg in a rematch, but he wanted to beat Goldberg, which was denied. And now Nash is put here as well. It's a big match feel. WWE don't have any like big matches feel to it. This one does, as Michael Buffer does the entrances.
Let's just hope we either see the end of it or it's not the next night on Raw.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, because you think you're going to get a big match and you get to give it away for free.
Well, this is the thing we're going to say. We are not finished here any means. After the main event, we'll be looking at Raw and Nitro the night after and looking at the bits of that and wrapping up 1998 in a year for WWE and WCW as well. So still a lot to come.
We might have a combination of who's kind of won our choice in brand supremacy. Because as you know, we've been giving our honest opinions and thoughts on who wins, and you know, we've been choosing the ratings, Raw roster promos, setting, and overall. And we've been marking them throughout the year. And again, you know, like I've been going back through the archives and getting all our old scores and, you know, finding out who's won what and how it's kind of going to end up.
And we'll also pick a pay-per-view of the year as well, because we've watched 12 pay-per-views, 6 from WWF, 6 from WCW. Pick out our favourite one at the end. But let's get to the main event of our last pay-per-view of the year. It's Kevin Nash coming out. What have you thought of Nash and the Wolfpack this year? Yeah, because I know you're a big fan of the Wolfpack.
I'm a big fan of the Wolfpack, but I don't remember them being so kind of heelish.
Yeah.
You know, I thought they was the light side to the NWO Black and White. And it I don't know, it kind of doesn't really much like that. I think, for all it's worth, NWO Black and White was more of a brotherhood than the Wolfpack.
Yeah. I mean, where's Lex Luger gone? Where's Sting? Where's Macho Man? You kind of got like Conan and Nash left as the two, and even them not really connected that well, have they? You know?
Indeed, yes. And, you know, you've got Nash is focused on things bigger than the Wolfpack, which I think kind of, you know, excludes the whole. He wants the title for himself as opposed to the title for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, exactly. And Hogan says it's his family, the title, like if it was about him like that.
And if you're part of it, you're part of it for life, and you know, it's forever in the Wolfpack. But I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it.
Well, let's see Goldberg's entrance for the last time. I would just want to say, like, if you think about the booking of Goldberg and Nash recently, Nash has had better booking. He's had the storyline with Scott Hall, the storyline with Hogan involved in the Wolfpack, whereas Goldberg's not really been on pay-per-view. Halloween Havoc against DDP. He wasn't at World War III, really. He wasn't at the September Full Brawl event either. So it's been weird booking for Goldberg, but the fans like him, and he's still a star. Like I said, he is their hope, their main goal against WWF, you know. Yes, they've got Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Vince McMahon and all them lot, but WCW have Goldberg.
Do you see Goldberg as that?
I definitely see Goldberg as, like, definitely something different, and you can feel he's a huge star. You can see from the crowd the intensity. I think Nash is good as well, but he's got to be more serious and kind of, you know, I don't think it's time for Hogan or Flair or Macho, but Goldberg versus Brett, and then you stick in, like, you know, Jericho or people like that to have a chance. I think you definitely got a future there.
Signing autographs on his way out. I mean, what a legend. But do you think WCW would have folded quicker if it wasn't for Goldberg?
Yeah, I think most definitely. I think the mistakes, 2 massive mistakes they make as well, or 3 massive mistakes they make with the Goldberg character, which kind of doesn't help them at all. And by the time WCW does go into business, Goldberg, I mean, after this, Goldberg probably wrestles for about another year maximum. You know, the time taken out due to injuries and other stuff that happens. It's a real shame. This is the biggest moment of the Goldberg career right now, and afterwards it never really gets back to this level. You know, this Goldberg right here is a game changer.
Well, it takes nearly 20 years to get back to the
doubt.
Goldberg that commands respect.
Without a doubt. And Goldberg's here. He's a champion. He's the number one guy in the biggest show of the company's, you know, year.
So would you say, despite his booking, he is the number one? If you had a ranking of WCW, Goldberg would be number one.
And I would do everything in my power to protect him, to make him look strong, no matter what anybody said backstage. You know, you've built Goldberg up. He's not anyone else apart from yours. And if you protect him, you can have a future there, building people up against him as well.
Do you see my hype in him now?
Of course I do. You know, Goldberg is awesome. when used correctly, you know.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of Goldberg.
For the past couple of years, he has been used correctly.
Yeah.
You know,
The
maybe
whole
a bit
street, yeah.
underused, but, you know, the kind of whole Goldberg thing has been used really well.
Yeah, without a doubt, you know, and it's exciting when he comes out as well. He's just not been used enough. You can see what they did wrong with Goldberg, you know what I mean? Like, with Austin, if he was at a show, he was involved 3 or 4 times a night. With Goldberg, you might see him once or twice, and that would be the last, 5 minutes. It's not enough, you know, in a 3-hour show.
173-0. I mean, over 2 years, though. What was Oscar?
It's over 2 years. It's like a year and 2 months.
A year and 2 months.
September 97 he debuted.
Yeah.
And now we're in December 98.
So in 3 months, because this is
Yeah.
right at the end of...
Yeah. This is it. We saw the start of it against Hugh Morris, didn't we, last year?
Yeah.
On the WNR podcast, we saw his first Starrcade event when he was spearing Alex Wright and Steve Mongo McMichael, and we've seen him become world champion this year. You know, Goldberg's still vastly experienced, but there's a big fight feel right now.
It does, yeah, and, you know, all right for Kevin Nash to be there as well.
Yeah, exactly. He's not had his opportunity yet. You know, he's kind of been in the tag team division. It makes sense to have Nash here to go against Goldberg. But I think there's still storylines for Goldberg. Bam Bam Bigelow, you know, maybe a Hollywood Hogan rematch if he ever stops being president. Bret Hart as well, you know, DDP again.
So where is actually Hogan legitimately now?
He's looking to be president.
Genuinely looking to be
He's
president.
looking to be president right at this moment in time. He's retired because the ratings have changed. He decided to walk away so he wasn't blamed for it, and now looking to become president because Jesse Ventura did so well. Nash getting his cheers.
Goldberg, I think, getting allowed a cheer.
Yeah, I think Dick Goldberg's definitely more over. I can't believe it. We saw Starrcade last year; it was huge, and now this main event is basically the end. It's depressing, but come on, Colin Edwards up to start. I wonder who's got the power here. I would suspect Goldberg, but Nash definitely
I'd
got
say
height.
Nash has got the height and leverage, but Goldberg managing to turn it round, push Nash into the corner. Referee calling for a break.
Man, Nash, this is serious, Nash. This is the Nash we want to see. He definitely means business here tonight. He's not joking around. As the smoke clears and the dust settles, we'll find out who will lead WCW forward as World Heavyweight Champion in 1999.
So, you know, Nash really hasn't got anything to lose.
No, he's put nothing on the line.
I mean, Goldberg could lose it all in this match with his title and his streak.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, even if you wanted to take the title off him, you could have just had him injured and, you know what I mean, strip him the title and then come and win it back again.
Triple threat match, pin someone else.
Exactly, you know, so there was ways around it. And Goldberg slammed him down.
So if it was down to you, how would you have ended Goldberg's streak?
I might not have done. No, you think about it. I mean, what was wrong with the streak at this moment in time?
Nothing.
He slams Nash, he goes to the outside, it's intense about him. Until there's someone there, you can think, alright, and then you could do the best thing of Goldberg saying after he loses for the first time, yeah, how long did it take me to lose once? So see you next time I lose. And then you can do it all over again as well, you know? Or have it just protected. People just panic when it comes to that, you know? They always do. It's not predictable because every time it feels exciting that it could actually be over. You get tricked by it. Every Undertaker WrestleMania match, you got tricked by it at least once in the match. You thought, oh, fucking hell, it's actually going to be over. The same could have been done for Goldberg. And every match, especially, you could have had a match on Nitro every week. It'd be like, Goldberg's streak is on the line tonight.
His title's not, but the streak is.
Yeah. Well, Nash back in, and he seems to be a little bit of control.
Well, I suppose to Goldberg, the streak would have been more important than the title.
At the moment, I think it is, you know. Goldberg has just worn everything in his path. He had to relinquish US title. But he just goes out there to hurt people, and at the moment, he's finding Kevin Nash standing in his way. Nash has beat the Giant this year. He left Scott Hall just laying there in the middle of the ring, didn't he? Like I said, beat 59 other guys. He beat Ralph, who stopped his undefeated streak. And he didn't stand down when Bam Bam Bigelow came calling.
But I think Nash, you know, even though, would you call him a face? He's still wrestling like a heel.
Well, I think this thing is, I think he's got the cool factor about him. I think that's partly his fault. Oh my God.
Well, Nash had his boot in the throat and Goldberg just pulled it off, dropped Nash to the mat, and now he's punching away and choking away at Nash.
Oh my God, and Nash.
Looking for a cross arm breaker. And Goldberg up to his feet.
And this is
Looking for that heel hook.
a lot more grounded than I thought it would be. Grabs the leg. Nash, though, has got the height. Managed to get that bottom rope. That's going to be the advantage here. I mean, Nash is probably half of the ring anyway. Like, probably 3/4 of it, really.
So you had the Giant getting Nash in a submission hold. They could hold the rope at either end.
Yeah. And now Goldberg taking it to Nash. It might hurt his shoulder a little bit, though. We haven't seen really any weakness from Goldberg. Yes, he's been taken down a couple of times, but oh my word.
He's always got up and delivered twice as much damage to his opponent.
Knocks Nash down.
Oh, pulls Goldberg in, though, head first into the second turnbuckle. I mean, Nash has definitely got the experience advantage over Goldberg.
Well, without a doubt, and he needs to use it here in this situation. To get control over Goldberg. You know, Nash has seen undefeated wrestlers before. The thing with Goldberg is see how long he can go. We've seen him short, sharp burst. You know, he gets over and done with. Nash actually have the energy in him to make Goldberg go past maybe, 10, 15 minutes and see how he responds. Oh! No, he can't. Irish whip. Nash went for the big boot. Goldberg dodged it. Hit the spear and down. What's after the spear?
Well, James.
Well, Nash is maybe out, and this is going to be early. And we wondered if Goldberg might be able to try and put Nash away early. This is incredible. He's got him now.
Nash is a bit dead weight, though.
Oh, my God. Nash for a low blow. And maybe he was playing possum.
Hello, possums.
Low blow Goldberg. So after the spear, he got low blowed.
Well, that's not the jacking him up and hammering him down. That's just a hammer to the nuts.
Well, it's no disqualification, Dan. Anything goes. Nash getting to his feet slowly, but after that spear, it's going to hurt. Irish whip to Goldberg in a corner. Oh, picking him up.
Sidewalk slam from Nash. Goes for cover. 1, 2. Oh, but Goldberg managing to kick out.
And he was trying to beat Goldberg. But it's going to be easier said than done. But Goldberg is in a little bit of trouble here.
Would you say this is Goldberg's biggest challenge?
I think without a shadow of a doubt. A confident Nash, and he's not put a foot wrong. He's withstood the early onslaught on a spear and managed to recover from that.
With a low blow.
But it's anything goes, so, by any means necessary. And like I said, Nash is going to use that experience of his to try and get one over Goldberg by any means necessary.
Was hanging Goldberg up on the second rope, knee to the back. And all of Nash's weight onto the back of Goldberg as he was draped over the rope. Goes for another cover. 1, 2. No. Goldberg managing to get the shoulder up at 2.
2. Got power, but not a lot. You got to wonder what's left in that engine of Goldberg. He's so intense. He expends energy every time he moves.
Nash just trying to wear Goldberg down. There's no kind of strategy to beating Goldberg because no one has.
No, and this is the crazy thing about it. Nash is going to try different ways, and as he works the back, Goldberg responds with a kick.
Well, the back was getting weak and the front was just getting stronger. But Nash again responding with a big elbow.
But it doesn't drop Goldberg. Oh, my God.
A short arm clothesline does, though, for a cover, but only 2.
2. There's a lot of power in that left by Nash as well.
Oh, Nash looking for a suplex. Goldberg turning it into like a neck breaker.
But now Goldberg's got Nash. Suplexed him over.
2. Oh. Only gets a 2 count for Goldberg, though.
2. And that was close. And now Goldberg get back to his feet, aiming another kick.
Lovely super kick there.
Nash looks a bit dazed. Goldberg recuperating as well. That midsection's been beaten up. Oh, my God. Picks up Nash.
As if he was a cruiserweight. Power slam. And if this was Braun Strowman, it would be over.
Oh,
but Nash kicking out.
Well, look how close that was. 9/10 there. And I think the next big move by Goldberg might put Kevin Nash away. Irish whip. Oh!
Lovely spinning heel kick.
I think that's it. I think that's job done. And
Disco
Inferno wants to be part of the Wolfpack. Is he coming out and helping Kevin Nash?
Oh, Goldberg lets him get involved in the match.
Oh!
Spear to Disco.
Well, Disco's down. Oh, no.
Bam Bam Bigelow from behind. Disqualification match is over.
Well, no, anything on. And Bam Bam's allowed to get involved. Gets clothesline out the ring.
Eliminated from the Rumble.
Nash is down as well. Referee's distracted. Goldberg looks to be going for the spear. And oh my God!
Scott Hall with a taser.
Well, Scott with a taser. The fans were distracted. And the referee was by the security taking Bam Bam away. Goldberg's been hit by the taser. And now Nash has got Goldberg. No, he can't. Jackknife. Goes for the cover.
No.
2, 3. The streak is over. Kevin Nash has beaten Goldberg. The crowd can't believe it. We've got a new WCW champion. Dan, what are your thoughts on that?
I feel as sick in my stomach as I did the first time I saw it. I know, if it was to come to an end, to have it coming to an end in mischievous ways, then, it doesn't weaken the Goldberg character. And, you had the distractions as well. It was something that I wouldn't want to see come to an end, but if it was to come to an end in any way, it was probably the best way to do it.
Well, Nash looking on and saying, what's wrong with him? I just hit him with a jackknife. Does he know about Scott Hall's interference here? I mean, it's alright if Goldberg tomorrow night on Nitro shows up, takes out Disco, takes out Bam Bam, takes out Scott Hall and says, Nash, I'm coming for you for the title. That's what will make it alright if they've got a plan of action. But your biggest show of the year, you don't have Eric Bischoff beating Ric Flair, and you don't sacrifice Goldberg for Kevin Nash, but that's what's happened here.
That's what happens when you get creative control.
Control of it, and Scott Hall with the taser, part of the event staff, and this is the jackknife finished it. And to be fair, the crowd went crazy, but I think they were surprised more than anything else that the match was over.
Well, how many of them do you think realised that he was tasered?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, got about 40% probably didn't see that bit. Kevin Nash is your champion. Dan, what a night it's been, eh?
Indeed, yes. Well, there's one thing I want to know. Are Nash and Hall in cahoots?
Well, we will find out because we'll watch Nitro up next. But let's just look back on Starrcade before we move on to that. So the first match, Hoovy versus Ray versus Kidman. Dan, what are your thoughts?
Absolutely brilliant. All three of them. And, they're all just amazing at what they do. All of them, the biggest stars there, and they're the littlest guys.
Yeah, without a doubt. Both of these matches with Eddie versus Kidman following it told great stories in it. It's a fantastic opener, and it makes a star of Kidman as well. I gave them both 4 out of 5.
I gave them both 4 out of 5 as well, yeah.
Well, Norman Smiley, Prince Iaukea, Nitro, it should have been on Nitro instead. Smiley's cool and all that lot, but why major pay-per-view? Major pay-per-view. 2.5 out of 5.
I thought Norman was very good, and he's quite underrated. I gave that a 3.5 out of 5. And all that 3.5 out of 5 was for Norman Smiley because he is a very impressive, underrated character.
Yeah, well, I mean, he is impressive, but for me, yeah, like I say, 2.5. Then the Cat versus Saturn.
The Cat is very questionable. I mean, he is just a complete fucking idiot. If so much better. Saturn, again, I think he was very underutilised. I gave that 2.5.
I give it 3 out of 5. It's okay. Nitro on Raw. It should have been a Nitro once again. Cat is alright. Adams versus Norton. Adams and Norton versus Finlay and Lynn. 2 out of 5. It was terrible. Fire all of them.
Yeah. I gave that a 2.5 out of 5. I just think it was completely stupid.
And talk about completely stupid, you had Conan versus Jericho up next.
Well, James, I think you're far too harsh on K-Dog. And I'm not even saying that being pretentious or facetious or a dick. I think you are too harsh on Conan. I gave that a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was quite a very good match.
I gave that 3.5 out of 5 because Jericho carried him. Jericho carried him like a piece of luggage. Then we had Eric Bischoff versus Flair. Good.
Yeah, I just said what the fuck. I mean, it's at the granddaddy of them all, you've got to have a good payoff. And I just think that was a completely silly, especially to have that whole storyline pay out to that.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I gave that a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I gave that 3 out of 5. DDP versus the Giant. I thought built up into something quite cool, actually. It felt like I was enjoying myself, you know. It was like, yeah, this is what a pay-per-view should be when you've got looking forward to. And I think it paid off. The Diamond Cup at the end was really cool. Giant was still protected, even though they could have buried him, considering he's going to leave soon.
Yeah.
I give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, it was a very exciting match, and for the way they played it off, it was good. And I also gave that a 4 out of 5. And it kind of opens things up for DDP and Bret Hart once the Giant eventually moves on.
And then the main event, Goldberg versus Nash. For me, it was too short, and the interference was just like, what? Kind of, I don't want to say come out of nowhere, but like Bam Bam showing up, and then Scott Hall. It's just, I don't know, if the biggest event of the year, you should have your payoffs. And this is what's lacking from WrestleMania at the moment in WWE, and I think it's lacking with Starrcade. Your two big guys in Ric Flair and Goldberg ended up losing.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. The ending, I think it was just silly, and Nash didn't need it, and Goldberg didn't need it to happen to him. I gave that a 3.5 out of 5, though, because it was an interesting way of Goldberg losing, but not looking weak, and it kind of leaves a bit open there as well.
Yeah, I gave that a 4, only because the build-up to it and the kind of feel of the match as well felt a kind of big match feel. And I kind of give it that as opposed to kind of what the end product was. But considering Goldberg's not been around for long and Nash is not the greatest worker, it wasn't too bad a match, you know, even though it could have been maybe a little bit longer. So my match of the night was DDP versus the Giant. I'm going to give it to that. Dan, what are you going to give it to?
I'm going to give it to UV, Ray and Kidman, because it was probably one of the best triple threat matches I've seen.
Yeah, no, it was great, wasn't it? Like, it wouldn't be out of place nowadays, and that's what it says about it.
Certainly not. And, you know, just the chemistry all these three guys had as well, it was absolutely brilliant.
And your rating out of 10, please.
Generous. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 5. Only for basically the 3 matches carried that whole pay-per-view.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'll tell you what, if you were to take out the Smiley Cat Adams match and have a 5-6 card pay-per-view there, you would have been a really, really good pay-per-view. And you found in something else that would have mattered, it would have been 7 out of 10. It's not my favourite pay-per-view of the year for WCW, but what will be, we'll find out at the end of the show. But let's move on to WCW Nitro, the night after. It's episode 172, December 28th, 1998.
After last night's controversial loss, Ric Flair made a final plea to the smug WCW NWO president Eric Bischoff. A match where, if Bischoff won, Flair would leave WCW.
But Flair had another interesting stipulation attached to this match.
TNT's WCW Monday Nitro from Baltimore, Maryland, featuring Ric Flair, Kevin Nash, Big Papa Pump and Kidman.
Well, Nitro started with Eric Bischoff, Kurt Hennig, Big Papa Pump and Buff Bagwell sitting in the back of a limousine after Starrcade. The NWO Big Wiz laughed about Ric Flair's defeat and Mayfield and Nature Boy's recent heart attack. The segment was followed by a history of Bischoff chronicling his WCW trio, NWO antics and problems with the Four Horsemen.
And we move on to our first match, which is the Ernest the Cat Miller with Sonny Ono defeating Shima Nobunga.
Well, pre-match, the Cat rolled the crowd until Chris Jericho and Ralphus interrupted his egomaniacal tirade. Walking out with Nobunga, Jericho claimed that he would watch wrestlers back in this bout and that the Japanese superstar would end Miller's open challenge policy. No such luck. The Cat ran through the youngster with kicks and choked.
Up next, we have Norman Smiley defeating Chavo Guerrero Jr. with Pepe. We'll do a little dance, win a few matches, let's make money tonight. The grooving Brit maintained control of his opponent until he dared to mess with Chavo's wooden steed. Guerrero went crazier, actually, when Smiley spanked the horsey, but became too distracted by his pet. Eventually got trapped in a chicken wing submission.
A film crew documented Raven's return to his parents' house in Florida. The former flock leader complained and whined as his mother tried to make him comfortable and a ham sandwich. Canyon was awed by the surroundings.
Well, Booker T defeating Fit Finlay, and Nitro revisited this classic feud with pleasing and painful results. Both men used skills, but Booker T looked a little stronger. The Harlem Heater won with a missile dropkick.
Well, Mean Gene is interviewing Ric Flair, and Ric Flair started the interview in a somber mood, but was soon stripping off his clothes and wooing like a fiend. He's taken his coat off, and now he's got his jacket. And he said he lives a life like this because people have allowed him to. But if Bischoff wants to take that, oh no, don't do it, Flair.
$2,000 belt. A gold Rolex.
And he's ripping $100 bills out. He's probably got about $3,000 in his pocket. Uh-oh, now the shoes. He threw the Gucci shoes. Oh, my God.
Poor crowd members get beaten with shoes.
No, don't do it, Flair. Oh, no.
I can see Flair's nuts.
You're right, Dan. He has lost it. No. Elbow drop. Oh, my God. He's lost it. He says Bischoff has raped the Nature Boy tonight. So, basically, the stipulation is Bischoff won. Flair would never wrestle again. But if Flair was victorious, he'd be allowed to run WWE for 90 days. But Flair's just stripped off it. It's just a crazy Flair interview, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Well, not only would he leave, but he'd sign his house, his cars, every single cent he owns over to Bischoff.
Well, Flair wants to run it for 90 days. Why 90 days, I don't know. But still, 3 months is good enough. And he wants to put Bischoff's head out of Flair's arse.
His nipple's going further and further under his left armpit.
I know. Well, Flair has lost it. And he even handcuffs himself to the rope and threatens to take off his boxes. But luckily, Bischoff comes down and accepts the challenge.
Yes, up next we have Barry Windham defeating Prince Arkea. And simply, Windham just proved to be too big and strong for the Lucha Libre influenced wrestler. The ex-horseman ended the bout with a bulldog.
Mean Gene Oakland with Officer Tom Atchison. Oakland showed Baltimore fans the stun stick that Scott Hall used to down Goldberg at Starrcade. Atchison explained that the stick could knock out a bull and was considered too dangerous for the police to use.
Jesus Christ, and it only just put Goldberg down. Yeah. Gene Oakland interviewing DDP, and Page humbly celebrated his momentous win over the Giant at Starrcade, but then focused on the pay-per-view's most controversial matches, Flair versus Bischoff and Big Sexy versus Goldberg. DDP claimed a black over the World Heavyweight belt. He also said he'd be honoured to work for the Nature Boy.
Backstage, Kevin Nash and the Wolfpack scolded Disco Inferno for interviewing in the main event. Nash claimed that Inferno's interference had tainted his win and that he would try and make amends later. Conan suggested Nash set up a match later for Inferno to see if he really wanted to be red and black.
Again. Up next, we got Eddie Guerrero and Juventud Guerrero defeating Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio Jr. At first, it appeared that UV and Eddie were still fighting from the previous evening, but their pushing and yelling proved to be an LWO ruse, created to confuse their opponents. It worked. Guerrera kept Mysterio away from his corner and beat the masked luchador with a series of breathtaking double teams. Kidman finally got the tag, but then a miscommunication caused Kidman and Ray to crash heads, allowing Eddie to hit the frog splash on Kidman to score the victory.
Well, and up next, the Wolf. I wonder what they got to say after what happened yesterday. I mean, there was 2 miscarriages of justice at Starrcade. Not only Kevin Nash with the World Heavyweight Championship, but Conan as well with a TV title. He can't even bother to bring out the TV title here as he comes out with Lex Luger. Where the hell was he last night, eh? And he's getting booed. He's Big Sexy. You know, the fans desperate for Goldberg as well.
Well, Kevin Nash told fans he was displeased about his win last night and wanted to make some amends. The Wolfpack leader set up a match between Bam Bam Bigelow and Disco Inferno, chastised Scott Hall for interfering, and told Goldberg he would give him a rematch next week at the Nitro in Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow, so what a huge way to start 1999. Goldberg versus Kevin Nash. But up next is Bam Bam Bigelow versus Disco Inferno. And fighting for Wolfpack membership, Disco proved to be courageous, clever, and cunning. Bigelow proved to be a ferocious beast, kicking out of a chartbuster. Bigelow, who dominated the majority of the match, executed a vicious power slam pile driver and technically his first win in WCW, and that was greetings from Aylesbury Park.
We get a Dr. Brock segment, and not Brock Lesnar, by the way, James, for what you're thinking. Nitro producers interviewed Dr. Brock, the physician that cared for Ric Flair after his painful chest attacks a few weeks back, even though we found out that... Oh, we find out here.
Yep. Dr. Brock said that Flair did not have a heart attack but was suffered from digitoxin, a lethal poison.
Well, backstage, Gene Oakland accused Eric Bischoff of poisoning Ric Flair. Bischoff became very flustered, but Hennig made sure WCW president said nothing incriminating.
Yeah, so it wasn't a heart attack, it was poisoning. But wasn't that a case last week when they said that? It's been confirmed here tonight. And up next, it's Scott Steiner with Buff Bagwell versus Conan. Conan and where was Scott Steiner last night as well? You know, Conan started strong but soon fell prey to the outrageous power of Big Papa Pump. So what a match this is, eh? Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner versus Conan. We wanted Black and White versus Wolfpack, and this is what we're getting the night after the biggest show of the year, eh?
Well, the night after K-Dog courageously, successfully defended his title against Jericho.
Well, the television title is on the line here tonight, and Conan's in a bit of trouble with Buff's help. Big Papa Pump is trying to make an impact here.
And some cheating there going on with Buff Bagwell interfering in K-Dog's match.
K-Dog. And now Scott Steiner's got the Wolfpack t-shirt, spits it, throws it on the floor.
What a lucky fan that would be getting that. Not only is it got K-Dog's spit on it, but it's got Scott Steiner's spit. The largest arms in the world, Jack.
Now Scott Steiner has got Conan in the Tree of Woe. And Conan likes to get beaten up in matches, doesn't he?
He's just absorbing the punishment and he's wearing his opponent out.
Oh, he's getting worn out by Scott Steiner. Look at Buff.
Getting involved illegally in the match.
And they're so useless, the Tree of Woe doesn't last. What an awful match for all three involved.
And Conan deserves a lot better. Belly to belly suplex. I'll spend an hour and a half a day admiring my penis.
Heenan says he spends 90 minutes a day, Scott Steiner does, admiring himself, and Steiner's got Conan up.
Oh, Conan, though, with a backslide and DDT, a reverse DDT onto Scott Steiner. Very impressive there.
Is it an inverted DDT? Well, Buff Bagwell trying to cheer his man on. Oh my God, Conan fighting back.
Getting a boot up to the chin of Steiner, though, and just wailing away at his face.
Now Conan Irish ripping Scott.
Jumping over the top.
Leapfrog.
X Factor.
And he's not going for the cover. Oh my God, what's Conan doing? It's the leader of the Black and White.
Tequila Sunrise.
Well, Tequila Sunrise in and Buff Bagwell stopping Scott Steiner. Uh-oh, here comes Lex Luger.
He's had enough of his interfering.
And he's pulling Buff Bagwell, but he basically pulls Scott Steiner off that submission there. And now the Black and White said they want Lex Luger, and Lex Luger up in the apron.
Someone love.
And Conan distracted hit from behind. Doesn't really sell it.
Oh, Bagwell low bridging Conan, sending him crashing to the outside.
I think only after Luger knocked Conan off the apron. He's only got eyes on Buff. And now Scott Steiner throwing Conan in. Got the Steiner recliner. Conan's got no choice, surely.
Don't call me
Tapped out. We got a new television champion, Scott Steiner, Dan.
after cheating his way to victory.
What do you mean cheating? I mean, come on there. Come on, Steiner won it fair and square. The television championship has been saved. And Scott Steiner is your new champ. No longer Conan. Dan, what do you think of the match?
Shit.
It was an awful match, wasn't it? But you got to ask yourself a question. It was a shit match, but you got to ask yourself a question. Are Lex Luger and the NWO Black and White in cahoots? Did Lex Luger cost the match for Conan there? You know, these are the questions that you got to ask yourself because it looked very suspicious in my eyes.
Well, up next we had Scott Hall defeating Brian Adams with Vincent.
Yeah, and here's the main culprit of the whole thing. The guy who cost Goldberg last night. Hey!
Without glasses.
Yeah, good one. Alright, what did Scott Hall say then?
Well, pre-match, Hall complained about not being invited to Nash's victory party, and Adams took advantage of the Lone Wolf's preoccupation and took control early in the match with big boots and gorilla press slams. But Hall absorbed the beating and hit the outsider's edge when Adams began pandering to the crowd.
Well, up next, it's Ric Flair versus Eric Bischoff, and we're getting Michael Buffer doing the big entrances here.
Well, pre-match, while Flair waited in the ring, Eric Bischoff attempted a limo getaway. I said, are you ready? He does get a superstar treatment, though, with the pyro.
Well, he is coming out here. He is WCW's past. Will it be WCW's future? They fucked up at Starrcade last night, didn't they? Having Flair lose. Will they sort it out tonight and actually give him a victory? It'd be interesting to see. Again, we've not seen any of the Four Horsemen, but Flair will go into battle tonight. We saw how crazy he was early on, and he's ready for action now.
There are stars, there are superstars, and then there are living legends. And Ric Flair is above the living legend category.
Wow. And where is Bischoff? Come on. He agreed to the match. He can take Flair out of wrestling. Here comes Bischoff now.
Making his way to the ring in a Goldberg-style entry.
And Bischoff saying, no way.
Jose.
And he's right by the entrance way. We're going to see him come out any second now. Wait a minute. He's not got any entrance. The announce table's there. He's avoiding that. And he's heading towards an exit. What? Where's he going? Into the limo. He doesn't want anything to do with Flair. He's a nut and he's going to get into NWA limousine. Oh, wait a minute. Mongo's there. Mongo, Malenko and Benoit, the Horsemen, are finally showing up and they're taking Bischoff back to the ring. We're going to get a match next. And they're carrying Bischoff back.
Mongo, Mongo, Mongo.
Well, we've seen all the greats now. And the president of WCW has been brought in. He wants time out. And Bischoff doesn't want anything to do with it. Charles Robinson rings a bell. And now Flair's smirking.
No, James, he hasn't got a cigarette in his gob. He's got a smile on his face because Ric Flair has been handed to him on a silver platter.
Uh-oh. Oh. And just like last night, a bit of How's Your Father? And now the leather jacket is off, so Bischoff means business. Oh my God, huge chop. The last Nitro 1998. Flair wants to send a statement.
And another low blow by the dirtiest player in the game.
Well, how come Bischoff survived this?
Charles Robinson. Charles in charge.
Well, Charles is Giant saying, how can Bischoff withstand the punishment now? Just quit, Bischoff. We saw him with Kurt Hennig earlier. Oh my God, Robinson. Another bump. He's on your side, Rick.
Just have two low blows.
Uh-oh, T-shirt's off now. The guns are on show for Bischoff. And a wicked chop there.
Woo!
Bischoff in serious trouble.
And he's got the Four Horsemen there, or Three Horsemen outside the ring.
And Flair absolutely loving this. Uh-oh.
That's why the Horsemen were there.
Well, Vincent, and Horace come down, but get caught by the Horsemen.
The D members of the NWO.
And Horace is broken through, but only as far as Malenko. And now Flair with an elbow drop.
We've seen him drop that elbow many a time on his suit jackets and the ring apron.
He hit it earlier with just his boxers, but here comes Bagwell. Here comes Hennig. Here comes Norton and Scott Steiner now.
Pretty much all of the NWO is out.
Well, it's all the main members and all fighting. Uh-oh, here comes a Giant. Well, he lost last night and he's not stopping. He's going straight to the ring. You don't forget, he's black and white as well. Oh my God, and a Giant headbutt. And he's going to chokeslam Ric Flair. And oh my God, Arn Anderson's coming out with DDP.
Macho Man's back with Elizabeth.
Macho just walking. Is that Elizabeth he's with? I don't know. He's got the NWO shirt on.
He's got the black and white shirt on though.
And he's going to be a part of the NWO. Macho's back. And the Giant, it says it's just too sweet. Oh.
Oh.
Low blow by Macho.
Eliminates him from the Rumble. What's going on with Macho? Has he turned his back on the black and white?
Well, he was Wolfpack anyway, so I don't know. He's put one over on the Giant. Maybe he's not part of anything anymore. Ric Flair's got Bischoff up.
A lovely delayed vertical suplex.
And now the crowd, I think, realise it's going to go in their favour.
Figure 4 locked in. Horsemen and WCW members surrounding the ring.
And Bischoff's got a couple of choices. Snap or tap. And he gives up. And
Bischoff calls it. Ric Flair has got control of WCW for 90 days.
Yeah, WCW actually have a feel-good moment. As the Horsemen and some WCW members and Conan come out. There's Booker T as well.
Booker! He's loving it.
Ric Flair has control of WCW. They get one over finally on the NWO. Dan, what are your thoughts?
It was a good payoff, and I suppose to do it this way, it kind of was a way of boosting ratings for Nitro. You know, to have the final payoff for a cover as well, just to...
Add insult to injury, and here comes Larry Zbyszko as well.
The living legend, Mike Tenay.
Tony Schiavone.
That's the road, baby!
The American Dream, and they have got control of WCW again. And with Goldberg getting his rematch next week in Georgia, is it time WCW are going to turn this thing around? This is the questions that we're going to ask. But I've enjoyed Nitro tonight, and I didn't mind Starrcade, to be fair, Dan.
No, Starrcade wasn't terrible, and to have the payoff the following week, and you kind of getting answers to all the questions that Starrcade produced. I mean, you know, it's kind of like the Monday Night Raw after Mania.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what the kind of pressure they give, and we'll talk about this. I mean, it's been a good Nitro, but how did they do in the ratings?
Well, James, Raw got a 4.9. And Nitro got a 4.6.
So they missed out by 0.3, even though they're coming off their biggest event of the year.
But would Goldberg have swayed the ratings, attacking either Hall or Bam Bam, or even both of them?
I think definitely. I think Goldberg come out and said, I'm not taking it anymore. I'm going to spear people until I get what I want. That would have been a lot better than Nash giving away the opportunity like the way he did. As Flair's now gone back to the figure 4 on that. I think so indeed. But Raw did win the ratings war. But did it win? We'll find out after we watch Monday Night Raw. But that is it for Nitro.
Woo!
Woo! Woo! Watch that. And it's Raw episode 292. We're in Albany, New York. And let's watch the start. So Kane's part of the corporation. And Vince McMahon's freak. We saw it in Heat. Kane has got no choice. But I think these cool because a couple of things like... what's missing from nowadays, talking of comparison. So you get the kind of build up for what happened last week, so the story still continues. You get a great Raw intro as well, which just shows it as like one of my first memories is seeing the Raw opening video, because it's all vicious moments, isn't it? Blood and the Hell in a Cell and the tables and stuff like fire, and then it starts and we get straight into the kind of story as well after the fireworks.
Look how many signs.
My God. Everybody's got their phones now.
So many fucking weed signs as well.
I'm a three-time world time cry champion.
The cat's getting a shout out, man.
Oh, we go. Look at this. The corporation backstage. Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, Hot Time, Big Bossman, Ken Shamrock calls Test. Yeah, that is Test. Kane, Pat Patterson, and Gerald Briscoe. My God. So soon as Shawn Michaels walks through the door, he's going to be humiliated and fired by Vince McMahon. And he got something special for Mankind. Let Shamrock go first. So this is WWE's version of a group, and they're hunting down Mankind. They want Kane to go in there. Is it quite intimidating group? Kane, Test, Shamrock and Bossman. It quite is, isn't it? You know.
Indeed, yes.
Oh, wait a minute.
From out of the shadows, Mankind appears and takes out who he can. We can't really see too much. No. It's quite dark.
You can hear him low.
But Kane overpowers him, and I think the numbers game gets to him.
My God, and Mankind caught there. And they're saying don't kill him. Just punch him up, beat him up a little bit.
Give some hard time.
Well, they found a gang up on him, and Vince McMahon told him he'll get a shot at the hardcore title against the Road Dogg.
And out in the ring, the Road Dogg was just getting ready to defend his championship against Val Venus, a match ordered by Commissioner Michaels.
Yeah, so interesting thing there. And just as we're getting into it, come out quickly and interrupt the match, making it a no contest. Here comes Test. And why the hell are the Corporation just running through the entire roster? They've beaten up Val Venus instead. There's meant to be no rules for a hardcore title match, and yet no contest.
Well, DX have made their way to the ring, and they're going to defend their territory. Well, Team Corporate come out quickly and interrupted the match, ending it in a no contest. McMahon then informed the Road Dogg that he'd have to put the title on the line again later against the King of Hardcore, Mankind.
Leona, still irate after Shane was beaten on by Mankind, and DX last week was also angry at Commissioner Michaels to prevent the Corporation from coming to Shane's aid. He announced that the moment Commissioner Michaels arrives at this arena, I'll put him in the ring and I'm going to humiliate him and I'm going to publicly fire his ass.
Well, punishment for befriending Mankind.
I think it is. All DX will wrestle here tonight. So DX have been friendly with Mankind recently. I think they're going to pay.
And I think Al had his first bloodbath as well.
Yeah, well, Al Snow apparently hadn't changed his clothes since the bloodbath last week. Took on another member of the Brood, Edge. As if Snow wasn't deranged before, it quickly became clear that he has completely lost it. He grabbed Head and used them to pummel Edge, leading to his own disqualification. The Brood came down, but the Job Squad quickly followed, and the brawl ensued. However, Snow completely oblivious as he grabbed Head and exited through the crowd.
And backstage, X-Pac was seen talking to Dennis Knight, who said, he told me to be here, although it was unclear who he was.
I wonder who he is. Sabre was scheduled to defend the women's title for the first time, but opponent, the Spider Lady, ran to the ring and attacked Sabre before the match got underway. The Spider Lady kicked her and even grabbed the championship belt and whipped the Femme Fatale repeatedly across the back. The Oddities came out to help their friend Sabre, but the Spider Lady took off her mask to reveal she was Luna. The Oddities seemed just as confused as the fans. Luna's left the ring and looked back at the Oddities. Could be overheard saying, "You're confused, it's about me and what I deserve." So as Luna turned her back on the Oddities then.
As further punishment for putting the Bronco Buster on Shane, Mr. McMahon forced X-Pac to defend the European title against the Big Boss Man. X-Pac was giving up nearly £100, but was as resilient as ever. He was in control as the corporate insurance policy Test, it is Test, walked towards the ring.
And what an interesting matchup it is, Big Bossman versus X-Pac. You got the enforcer of the versus the heart and soul of DX, X-Pac. And of course, X-Pac got destroyed by Kane on Sunday Night Heat, but still showing it.
Oh, Bossman looked really terrible there.
Well, Bossman went for a splash, and I think he was scared to land.
X-Pac fighting back.
But X-Pac is really over as well. The fans really love him, the plucky underdog. Uh-oh, now he's got Bossman in the corner, the Bronco Buster. Hits Bossman with it. Oh, but here comes Test. And the corporate insurance policy looking on. And X-Pac's not giving up yet. Big boot.
Oh, but here comes Val Venus running from behind.
Well, let's not forget Val Venus got beaten up earlier. He's attacked by the corporation. Referee's call for the bell here. 2-on-1 attack on Venus.
Oh, kick Test down low.
Well, now X-Pac's up.
Oh, over the top rope, taking out Bossman.
Oh my God, all four men battling to the outside. Referees and officials down to try and stop this. It's all go at the moment with the corporation getting in everybody's faces.
It is indeed, yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, Goldust and Steve Blackman teamed up to face two superstars who have been known to dress as a blue blazer. Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett, that's JEFFJARRETT. Owen had the lethal weapon in the sharpshooter, but Dan the Mustache Severin appeared suddenly, and the Calgary native lost his concentration, eventually allowing Blackman the opportunity to roll him up for the pin.
Out in the parking lot, Dennis Knight was sitting in his car. I wonder what could go wrong here. Oh my God, wait a minute. It looks like the acolytes are there.
And they've light into the trunk of his own car.
And they're driving away. Why?
What kind of motive would they have?
I mean,
what has Dennis Knight done?
We've come back from the break. I mean, have we got better footage of this? Maybe the attack that had just happened, or are we going to see is Dennis Knight just being reversed out of here and driven away by the acolytes?
I think that's all we're going to see.
Well, wait a minute here. Moments ago, we've seen a better version of this. So Dennis Knight was in his car,
just about to leave to go home.
And the acolytes here, and they beat him up, beat the shit out of him, stick him in a boot, take him home. I suppose jobs are good in there. Wow. Up next, back in the ring, And Triple H has an opportunity to regain the Intercontinental titles he took on Ken Shamrock. This is classic DX. Let's just look a bit of classic DX here. Your Billy Gunn, X-Pac, China, Road Dogg, and of course Triple H. Look at that. Classic DX, eh? That's brilliant.
The corporate team and DX remained at ringside during the match. Shamrock went after Triple H's left knee, which kept the leader of DX out for months. The Intercontinental Champion applied the ankle lock, but Triple H walked towards the ropes. But even after the degenerate reached the ropes, Shamrock refused to release the hold and was eventually disqualified.
Yeah, so there's the ankle lock. We know how dangerous it is. And even with, Triple H fighting there, we've got to think about his injuries and what he has sustained in the past. It's not good. Well, Billy Gunn came to Triple H stage, and with seconds, DX and the Corporation were rumbling inside the ring. However, Kane merely stood outside and watched until the Stooges ordered him to fight for the Corporation. By the time the Big Red Machine got in the ring, the brawl had already ended. Backstage, Billy Gunn, who defeated Ken Shamrock, what turned out to be a non-title match last week, exchanged heated words with the world's most dangerous man.
Well, Sexual Chocolate Mark Henry came to the ring to apologise to China for taking up the offer of PMS last week. The Pretty Mean Sisters appeared and told Henry they had big plans for him. Then, shockingly, China came out.
He's like, damn right, I'm getting me some China. Oh, Jacqueline's not that scared. Well, China grabbed the microphone and told PMS for the first time the last time, stay away from my man.
She grabbed Jacqueline by the throat and tossed her and promised not to be so ladylike next time. She then went over to Sexual Chocolate, who seemed to be just as surprised by China's pronouncements as anyone, and said, I'll see you later.
Oh my God. Well, backstage, the Corporation was assaulting the Godfather, who was scheduled to take on Billy Gunn in singles competition. Miss Frost came to the ring, but when the Godfather's music played, instead and said there had been a change and Gunn was going to face Corporate Kane. So we've seen X-Pac have the odds stacked up against him. We know Road Dogg's got to go through hell. Triple H was beaten up, and now Billy Gunn's got to go past Corporate Kane. And Shane McMahon introduced him as Corporate Kane as well, which is great. Famous by Billy Gunn.
But Kane's pretty much up to his feet straight away.
Oh my God. And now Billy Gunn with the big right hands, and Kane staggering a little bit.
Oh, eliminates himself and Kane from the Rumble, but Kane landed on his feet.
Gunn sent into the apron. Kane's back in, breaking the lock, and oh no!
From behind, Shamrock locking in the ankle lock. Gunn's tapping out, but it doesn't matter because Shamrock's not involved in the match.
No, an attack from behind. Referee can't see it. And this is terrible. And Shamrock has definitely snapped here as Patterson causes distraction. And Shamrock sucks chance, and Kane looking down at Billy Gunn. And now Kane's going to go for the chokeslam. Oh my goodness. Hits him with a chokeslam.
Well, the instructions of Patterson? Briscoe,
Patterson and Briscoe, I guess.
At the instructions from the Stooges, he picks up Badass and chokeslams him again. Before he could, DX showed up and made the rescue.
Yeah, Kane hit with a chokeslam twice, but the Stooges insisted that he do it for the third time. Just as he went to do it, DX showed up and made the rescue. So DX is still standing up for what they believe in.
Well, the Road Dogg was forced to defend his title for a second time, this time against the King of Hardcore, Mankind. The two superstars used a technician's table, toolbox, chair and steel tray among other weapons as they battled on the steel entranceway and out in the crowd. After Mankind put the Dog through another table, The Rock, who joined Michael Cole and Jerry guest commentary, said he was going to show SmackDown the right way to lay the SmackDown. Show Mankind the right way to lay the SmackDown.
And now look at Mankind, the big right hands to Road Dogg. He's in serious trouble. He's got a big TV monitor.
Oh, wow, Mankind looking to monitor the situation. But luckily enough, Road Dogg sidestepped it. Hit Mankind with a chair, and then Mankind accidentally took out, I suppose it was a road agent there. A roadie. He's £10 a monkey crap in a £5 bag.
And what a brawl this has been. And even though they're probably friends, Mankind just wants to fight and wants to win that hardcore title back. And now he's got Socko. And Socko's in. And it's what beat The Rock at rock bottom.
Oh, Mankind's climbing. And The Rock's just saying he's going to teach the millions and millions of fans the right way to lay the SmackDown.
Well, Mankind must be at least 10 foot in the air.
At least 15 foot. Drops the elbow through Road Dogg, who was prone across a table.
And we're going to have a new hardcore champion. But The Rock's laying in wait.
Well, The Rock counted down, planted Mankind with a rock bottom.
Oh, The Rock laid the smackdown. Yeah, that's a great idea, Rock. Walk through the cold crowd for the people. And Road Dogg goes for the cover. I don't think he knows what's going on.
Drapes an arm across. One, two, three.
And still, your hardcore champion, the Road Dogg, but still shenanigans involved there, Dan.
Indeed, yes, a lot of shenanigans. And who's in cahoots with who?
Well, I guess Road Dogg didn't know anything about it, because when he saw what happened on the Titantron, he was a rate of The Rock. Said, I don't want it like that. And Mankind has been screwed yet again by the corporation.
Well, as he has promised, McMahon called out Commissioner Michaels, and the owner said after Michaels held back the corporation from helping Shane, McMahon realised that the Heartbreak Kid sucked as a...
Well, he then told him straight out, you're fired. Let's see if it plays. Oh, Vince McMahon doesn't lay down for anybody. It's one of Shawn Michaels' old sayings. Get told off like a student at school, and he's just fired Shawn Michaels. The commissionership for Shawn Michaels is over.
Oh, Michaels is walking away.
Yeah.
Pow! Sweet chin music.
Shawn Michaels lays out Vince McMahon.
And he strips, much like Ric Flair.
Yeah, we've seen two men get naked here tonight.
Two men, one man ended the other man's career.
It did indeed, and Shawn Michaels
Oh, I thought he was going to have a DX shirt on underneath. That would have been
looked
cool.
ready for action, and I think he's humping McMahon, and then gets out of harm's way because the corporation have come out. Shawn Michaels gets one over on the corporation.
You must know the rules of the ring, James. Once you enter the ring, you cannot exit it.
That's true. So what are your thoughts on that, Dan?
I thought it was good. It was very entertaining. No Austin, though. What happened to him?
Well, Austin is not there. He had his big buried alive match. We know he's going to be in the Rumble. But WWE don't need him. They won the ratings war, didn't they, after WCW's biggest show. And the corporation storyline of making DX pay and Mankind opens it up for other faces as well, and not just Austin. So before we give you the 5-point system of Raw and SmackDown, Raw and Nitro this month, we'll talk about the pay-per-views that we've watched this year, because we've watched 12 pay-per-views, 6 from WWE, 6 from WCW, and we're going to pick out what our pay-per-view of the year was. So for WWE, we have watched the Royal Rumble,
WrestleMania,
Over the Edge,
King of the Ring,
SummerSlam,
and Survivor Series.
So obviously the big four, plus, you know, a couple of other memorable moments. WWE watched Super Brawl,
Spring Stampede,
Bash at the Breach,
Full Brawl,
Halloween Havoc,
and Starcade.
Yeah, so that's 6-6. So my pay-per-view of the year, I've got to say, it was probably... Oh, I love SummerSlam 1998, and I love Survivor Series 1998 as well. They are great shows, but I don't think they would be able to happen if WrestleMania 14 wasn't such a big success. And I think with the Shawn Michaels and Austin, with Austin going over, I think with the Mike Tyson involvement, with Undertaker and Kane match, and of course with DX, you know, Triple H taking over. The night after WrestleMania was vitally important as well, with DX taking and Austin feud being drawn out there. I think WrestleMania 14 for me is my pay-per-view of the year.
I'm going to have to go with King of the Ring. I absolutely, you know, it probably wasn't the event on the whole. It was just mainly that one match, and you know, well, the two matches really. It was a Hell in a Cell match and the main event as well. I mean, it was just absolutely amazing, and seeing what Mick Foley went through as well, it was just crazy.
Yeah. Right, so there are two pay-per-views of the year, but WWE, you know, don't get me wrong, Halloween Havoc was entertaining, Starcade wasn't too bad as well.
BATB wasn't bad either, actually.
Exactly. So, I mean, they all delivered, didn't they, pay-per-views really this year? But let's go back to who's leading the year. So we do it every month. But it's just quite crazy. We look back, look at the score. January to April was a WCW win. So when they were on top of the ratings war, they were actually winning on the WNR podcast.
Yes, May to October, the WWE win.
Yeah, which is, you know, again, they were on top during the ratings war. November, we picked WCW to win. So
it was quite close throughout November, though, for the ratings.
Close. Yeah, very, very. So it's 6-5 to WWE at the moment, but it's double points this month, so the winner will get 2 points. So Nitro could win if it wins out this month. So we've got a 5-point system. We've got match,
promo,
roster,
setting,
and rating. So let's get through it. And we've got overall as well. We'll do Nitro and Raw at the same time. Dan, what have you thought of the setting of Raw and Nitro this month?
Well, this month, I don't know. I've really not been impressed with WCW's setting. You know that at Starrcade, it looked like someone had just handwritten a sign and it was being span about like a static screen.
Yeah, but I mean, what have Raw really offered up anything differently recently? I mean, they've kind of been the same kind of setup, haven't they? Rock Bottom wasn't the kind of best setup in the world. It was just a couple of pictures of Rock. The Buried Alive set was quite cool there. But I think with Nitro, it's kind of been beating out Raw recently because I think it's more aesthetically pleasing. Plus, with the kind of, like I said, the big arenas, big stadiums they've been doing basically. You know, you've got Georgia next week. We've had with Miami, there was a big stadium as well. So I think with just kind of where it's based at the moment, I think Nitro for me looks a little bit better setting wise. But saying that, I think Raw are kind of delivering consistent as well. But what's your scores for settings then for Raw and Nitro?
I'm going to give them a 3 apiece.
That's fair. I'm going to give them a 3.5 out of 5 together. Move on to roster, and of course this month roster, it's kind of the same story, WWE and WWE. We're not going to see changes to the roster until the start of the year in 1999, and then we're going to have a lot of people moving around, some good, some bad. I still think WWE roster, but I still think WWE uses their talent better. So for me, again, it's evenly scored. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, as you say, I think the only good thing that WWE have got going is kind of like the resurgence of Flair and the loss of Hogan. Which, I think that's a major point in WCW's favour. So I'm going to mark them 3.5 for WCW and 3 for WWE.
That's fair enough. I'm going to give roster both a 4 out of 5 for that one. Match, what do you thought the matches this month?
The matches, I think, with a lot of the Raw, it's been kind of focusing solely on the corporation and, their dominating presence. They're kind of taking over things. But I think they're doing it in a better way than the NWO was. They're doing it in a more commanding way, but it's they're getting a similar effect, but I think the corporations is working a bit better.
Yeah.
Like matches overall, like with the matches and the endings and the way they've ended, I'm going to have to give WWE a 3.5 and WCW because, even on their year-end pay-per-view, like the grandest daddy of them all, they still had 3 Nitro-worthy matches, but then you had like the Flair Bischoff, so it kind of evens it out.
I feel the matches at WWE seem to be slightly better this month just because of kind of Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero and Kidman and people involved in that. Whereas I still think there's a lot of DQ finishes on Raw and on Nitro as well. We've not seen that many clean finishes. At pay-per-view, you see more clean finishes for WWE than you do WCW. I don't think it's been that bad this month. I don't think we've been really focusing on matches though this month. It's been more about the promos and about what people are doing in Ring Corporation, Ric Flair, and of course, the Wolfpack and stuff like that as well. So I'm going to give the matches for me 3.5 out of 5 for both Raw and Nitro. Just because, again, very similar, and we're focusing more on the promos. And speaking of promos, I think the promo has been the most important thing this month. I think with WWE finally showing stuff about the Bischoff and Flair feud, recapping us on that, especially Goldberg and Nash as well, letting us know what's going on. And Raw is kind of second to none, letting us know the storylines as well and the stipulations and letting us know exactly what's happening, even if we missed something out. So it's going to be very even there for promo. What are you reckoning?
I think, but it's again, you're not quite sure what's going on with Nash. You're not quite sure what's going on with Hall. You don't quite know their agendas. WWE, they kind of make their agendas clear. And, they do hang it all out on the table. But also on WCW, you've got the Ric Flair interviews and him stripping naked, ripping up $100 bills, throwing Gucci shoes into the crowd. It's absolutely monumental. So I'm going to give them both 3.5.
I'm going to give them both 4 out of 5 as well. I think that's really, really good. So now we come down to the rating. Dan, out of 10, what have you given Nitro? What have you given Raw this month?
I'm going to give it a 7.5. And for WCW, I'm going to replicate that with another 7.5. I think, overall they have been entertaining. And, as we say, it's not all been about the wrestling. It's been mainly about what's been going on the wrestling.
So you give Raw 7?
As I say, overall it has been very entertaining.
I think for me, Nitro's is good this month. I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. I think, it's been entertaining. I wouldn't mind watching more of Nitro. I think Raw for me just been slightly better, just slightly more exciting. So I'm going to give that an 8.25. 8.25. So it beats Nitro out by a quarter here. So Dan, can I have some music whilst I work out all the scores for Raw and Nitro, please?
Yo, you dealing with the X Factor.
I got everything I ever wanted, and I'll never give that back. Oh, I know you hate that factor, but you ain't gotta look at me like that. I said you ain't gotta look at me like that.
What you looking at? What you looking at? What you looking at?
I worked it out, and Dan, my gosh, it's quite incredible here. So we worked it out. You both scored Raw and a Nitro 20.5 each. So it's down to what I did. Alright? And I got to say, there's a quarter point in it. Because I scored Raw 8.25, that is pushed over the line. Total for Nitro is 43.5. Total for Raw this month is 43.75. So Raw wins. And they are the winner. They win 7-5.
8.
And WWE win 8-5 overall. So they won 7 out of the...
8.
No, because it's double points for this. It
Yeah.
was 6-5. So they won 7 out of the 12 months. WWE won 5, but because it's double points December, exactly, they've got an extra point there. So it's 8-5, but 7 months. It's not bad. WWE were not dead. There's still a ratings war.
It was DDP. Double December points.
Exactly, double December points, DDP. But that's how close it was. WWE was still in the war. Will it be this close when we do it next year? I don't know. Dan, what have you thought of WWE versus WCW for 1998? We've watched the whole year now.
Well, I feel that we're starting to see the decline of WCW, especially with the shady circumstances that Goldberg lost the title and, who's in cahoots with who there. It's you don't quite know what is going on WCW, where on WWE you have got a clear picture, and that clear picture is that the corporation is in control and they will do what it takes, and they can do what it takes to just make it their own.
I mean, they've got a story set there. They've got the Degenerates of Mankind fighting them, and they've got Stone Cold Steve Austin, whereas the faces on Nitro, I think it's the first time the Nitro, the faces have come out on top a little bit with the Four Horsemen, with Paige and with Booker T and everything like that. But there's still hope. They can still respond from Goldberg losing his streak. What will happen at the Georgia Dome in front of one of the biggest crowds of all time when WWE and WCW go head-to-head January 4th? We'll find out next month for WWE versus WCW. But that's it for now. Next episode is WNR New Year's Spectacular. We'll be there reviewing all of 2018. And we've got the year-end predictions as well.
Can James overcome an 11-point deficit in the year-end predictions? There's 31 points on the line. 32?
31-32, but you get another 6 points anyway because you won the 3 league tables. That can happen for the New Year Spectacular. We'll have a full review of every podcast we've released. We released 93 episodes by the time the New Year special will come out this year. And we'll have a look at each one of them and, of course, a year in review as it was. And the WNR Awards. But that's it for WWE versus WCW. Anything else, Dan?
Goldberg was screwed.
Yeah, he really was. Anyway, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at WNetworkView or
At Vince McDan, WWE.
I'm at J_Rollins across all the Google platforms, WNetworkView on Google+. Send us an email, WNRpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Facebook.
Yes, Facebook. You can come and find our page and give us a like with a WWE Network Review podcast. Find me and add me as a friend. I am Vince McDan.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, WNetworkView. We've got clips on there and the podcast at the same time on YouTube. We do other places like SoundCloud.
On your phone.
We're also on Stitcher Radio, Spreaker Radio. We've got a live shows coming in January. And iTunes, where you can download, subscribe, rate and review there. But we'll see you for the New Year Spectacular. I have been James Rowlands and as always, I was joined by
Dan White.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and bye.
Bye.